I want to be able to understand someone.
Okay.
And in that, I understand myself, isn't it?
Of course,
Because
you're looking in the mirror.
And this is the interesting thing, right? You said this thing about me being open. I wonder. I have this question. It's coming from me. I'm creating it, but it's also in a large part other people who have given me the opportunity and the confirmation that it is. And maybe because maybe it's not. Maybe I'm not there completely, but it's a confirmation. I think in the world around us and people around us, we take signals, we take information into, okay, this is what it is. I have some good friends, and I think that's what good friends are. Good friends are those who awaken who the best of us, right?
Yeah, but we don't have. I don't know. I would say you could count your friends, real friends, on one hand.
Yeah.
You know a lot of people and you cross a lot of people, but really friends are people who are, and I think friendship is very, very important. If in a relation between a man and a woman, or a man and a woman, in a relation, I mean, if there is friendship as the basis, okay, it can never go wrong. Because a friend, you can say everything and nobody will judge you. See what I mean?
That's a good definition, because friend is a very broad word, isn't it?
Yeah, but a real friend, he will listen to you, and he will not, and if you tell him something completely opposite of what he is standing for, he will still listen to you.
Yeah.
And he will not judge you, because he will know that you are on your path, and that's respect, and that's only in friendship, in real friendship you find that. I have one man, is my neighbor, I don't know if I talked about him, who is, I never had a friendship like that, and I didn't even know it was possible and existed. We don't have many real friends. I don't know about you, but it's not something common. When I had the biggest change in my life, and I changed a lot of my behavior, a lot of friends disappeared, because it was more like Louis XIV. You have a court. Court? They say that in English?
Advisors, like a court. Yeah, court. Court. You can use that. Yeah.
I don't know what is the exact word.
You can say court.
You see, it's like rich people. They have an entourage, people around, but they're orbiting for the money there.
Yeah.
And of course.
And the power.
And the power, yes, of course. And they take the breadcrumbs. If it's a big one, he throws some breadcrumbs, and they all fight for it. And so, as long as they have an interest, material generally, they are there. But the moment you become real, and you stop, of course, you in a certain way you're buying them. It's corruption. When I became aware, when I had what I call my awakening, I told you about that or not?
Yeah, a little bit.
Well, at that moment, I had the most lucid moment in my life, and I saw, for the first time, reality. What is. And if you see where you are, you see the whole picture, and you see that you're going to destruction, then you must, it's not you can change, you change.
Yeah.
Of course, I said that, but some people even then don't change.
Yeah.
Because it's really difficult changing. It has consequences.
I like finding the right term. Not that the right term is could exist, because language has so many limitations.
Of course. Yes.
But I guess maybe the image that I see, it's less about change. Well, I mean, change is a way to describe many things, right? But I think when we think of change, we think of like putting on a totally different costume, right? But when maybe that's what some people think of when they think of change, right? Or changing completely. But I'm making an assumption of what maybe people think. But that's sort of what's in my mind. But when I think of what you're talking about, I think more of shedding, letting go of illusion. Because
shedding is good.
Because what's in us is there, and that never changes. So there's a part of us that we don't need change. We just need to let go of what we're holding on to, all this bag. Yes, that is a change in a sense, but I think that is maybe more specific.
Well, I use an example. I use often images when I talk because images are, and I say, for instance, you live here,
Yeah.
and your work is there.
Yeah.
Let's say this is 50 kilometers.
Yeah.
And I see you every day driving like this.
Yeah.
And then I say, I give you a map because you don't have, and I show you there is this way. And if you see it on a map that you do 50 instead of maybe 25,
Yeah.
well, normally you change.
Yeah.
You see what I mean?
Yeah.
But somebody said, no. I give the example. This is real. He said, no. I take this road. I go on taking it. I said, why? Because I know it. That I was échec et mat, if you play chess.
Yeah, yeah.
Because he knew this road, but not this one. So he didn't want to use something he didn't know.
Yeah.
And I said, I did not know that some people were afraid of the unknown.
Yeah.
Of course I knew it, but now I was confronted with it so strong.
Mm-hmm.
And that is just, if we don't go into the unknown, we never, that real change is going in the unknown.
Does everyone have to do it?
Nobody has to do it.
Okay, has to is the wrong word.
Yeah.
What I mean is, can we... I find this problem interesting because can we find something with ourselves and guide others to find it as well? Maybe we could shine a light on the path so that it's less fearful.
Yeah, you go fast and you are right there. Indeed, the only way I tried, because I'm from an older generation, and I thought, but that's also the ego part. It's important that we talk about the ego also at a certain moment. The ego is actually the story is our belief system.
Yeah.
And you can have one that ends with the ism, communism, Catholicism, any ism, Islamism, anyway.
Yeah.
But we make, even if you get rid of all those, I found out that we make a small, custom-made for ourselves belief system.
Yeah.
Huh? And even that one is, has to be let go of.
Yeah.
And that's what you're pointing to. So now, if you want to rejoin your real being, let's say that your real being for me is the soul, is the spirit you are. The spirit is we have two things in us. One side is temporal, and the other is eternal. So your body, of course, the form in which, when I say that I'm a spirit who is living a human experience, of course my body, I need it the time I do that experience.
Yeah.
But when I finish the experience, I don't need that body anymore.
Yeah.
So that's why I say I'm so happy that that kind of death exists. Otherwise, in a few centuries, we're still making interviews and doing the same stuff. And when are we going to get bored of it? You see? So every now and then we have to change the setting. We go back home because people don't realize what a blessing it is to be here at this moment. We, three of us, are everybody. There's not one person on the planet who is not amazingly strong, because he is just here at this moment. Now from this on, because the queue, I told you about the waiting to get in.
Yeah.
I told you about the turtle.
No, you didn't.
No. The Buddhists say, Buddhist is ism, but they say that the chance that you incarnate as a human is, give an example, you have the planet Earth is an ocean, only water. In the ocean is one turtle, and every 20 minutes it goes to take breath. And there is one round wheel, a wooden wheel floating in that ocean, 1 meter. Well, the chance that the turtle go take his breath in the wheel is the same probability than you get a ticket to get here. It gives you a kind of an idea how, that means that this is, it's like when I was young, a concert for the Rolling Stones. You had to buy your tickets quite in advance to be there. Well, the queue that is waiting to get an incarnation ticket is incredibly, because this is I would say in the universe, this is actually the best school that exists. It's a school. It's really a school.
Yeah.
That's why it's so stupid to build schools in the school. I say, well, why do they build schools? We are in a school. You are learning every day by living. But that, what I describe now is a state of consciousness, is becoming very, very urgent now, that as many people as possible access that state of consciousness to get the present that is waiting for humanity. But I told you, you're a human, you are also humanity, because you are a human. Just as a drop is the ocean.
Yeah.
And so you're feeling what you told a little bit before. I see that you are what I call zeitgeist. You know that word
Yeah,
also.
I know this term.
So zeitgeist is actually the collective consciousness, but also mixed. The collective consciousness is originally pure divine. It's unlimited, limitless, unlimited, whatever you call
Beyond
it.
material.
Yeah. It is. It's all.
Yeah.
You cannot imagine it even.
Yeah,
You cannot define it, and it has confined itself. You are and she and we are unlimited beings, divine beings. No, we can do everything, and we decided to confine all that in a little body, and then get asleep. And now is the big awakening. I told you about the quantum awakening. Is the moment that these divine beings, all of a sudden, all together, realize, oh my God, we are the creator. We are God. We are that what we project outside of us. Religions do nothing than projecting, because we could not take the responsibility of the power that we have.
Yeah.
So we need to create images outside of ourselves, gods, and
Yeah.
see. And so the moment, I'm so happy to be in this town, and there is no, il n'y a pas de hasard. It does not exist.
Yeah.
Because hasard would mean that something is not connected.
Yeah.
But everything is connected.
Yeah. There's no coincidence.
No, because since everything is connection, if I push here, it moves there in China also.
Yeah.
Because everything, in a certain way, it can be subtle, but it can also be very. And when you step into the connection, oh, okay, I am Maurice, and you are Cooper, and she is Raya, but that is secondary. Before that, we are life.
Yeah.
And when we operate, and in life, we have a role to play. For me, we are the neurons of the planet, the whole humanity. Yeah? Whereas I would say, if you compare to a body, you see the trees and the plants are the lung, etc.
Yeah.
And the minerals are the building blocks, and they all have really quite a function.
Yeah.
And the only kingdom that is not aware of its function is the human kingdom. The other kingdoms, actually. The mineral kingdom and vegetable kingdom and the animal kingdom, they are waiting, not waiting like like humans are waiting, but they are ready. And when we are ready, and there is somebody who said, when we will remember the real name of things, we will be able to create with sound. Sound is the future. And in the beginning, Om is the sound in the beginning. So all these stories are true.
Yeah. Let's go back. When can you take me through in more detail your maybe you would, as you would call, awakening?
Yeah, I cannot call it. Well, sorry. Before the awakening, there was my life path.
Yeah.
And well, I have to try to put it. When I was a child, I say, very important, every 7 years there is a shift. 7, 14, 21, you can see that in your life. When I was a child, and I knew very fast, I was about 8 years, that something was wrong. Something was really wrong. And that was because I had a teacher. I was in the second class in Belgium. In the first class, you start reading, learning to read, right? In the second class, you get more stuff. And we got, since I was in a Catholic school, the teacher was giving on catechism, it's called. It's on religion. Yeah. And so these are questions and answers that you have to learn.
Memorize.
already memorizing for me is
Yeah.
completely.
Yeah.
So, but okay, and I remember the first question that it starts. It's a little book. Where is God? Okay, and the answer is God is everywhere, in heaven, on the earth, and on all other places.
Yeah.
Okay, and I don't remember the question, but I had a question on that first question, and I put that question, and I was punished
Yeah.
immediately.
Yeah. The system does not invite curiosity. They just
No,
want to teach
but
obedience.
8 years old, you're a child,
Yeah.
and you put a question that makes sense for me,
Yeah.
and you are not supposed. And then and the guy really, and I then it went on in that he was a guy who was 2 meters, and I remember his shoes that were like boats for me when I looked, and he at that time still they had a metal ruler or something,
Yeah.
and they tap on your hands. It was even physical
Oh,
sometimes.
wow.
Yeah, it happened. It is now it's the other way.
Yeah.
Finally, it's the disciples that. Yeah, but no, it's good. It came around because but you saw that. Now they
Yeah.
are afraid of the pupils
Yeah.
in schools, but
Yeah.
we were afraid, really, because authority you could not question it. See what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's now what happened. So I am conditioned, and I got adults are dangerous. That was my conclusion, because they say things and they don't do it, and they take every power. They can do whatever they want, and we cannot question that power.
Yeah.
So I said, okay, I'm going to do as if I do, as if I believe it, as if. So I played. You see?
You played along.
Yeah, because
You played the game.
I didn't make. I was not powerful enough
Yeah.
to.
So you let me speak if I'm saying something that's wrong. Correct me. You built a mask, and that fit
In a
you, or you
certain
put
way,
or you
yes,
put on
yes.
a costume.
Yes,
And you danced the dance.
Yeah.
Okay.
Of course, not when I was playing with other children, but towards adults.
I see.
And then, while conditioning is so subtle, maybe you know what I mean by conditioning. If we were born in Morocco, we were probably Muslims.
Yeah.
But then, I was a bad student. I didn't want to study. I didn't want to memorize. I was very good in languages, Latin, Greek, French, and everything, but not in and mathematics also, but not in geography, history. I was not interested in history because I had to learn all these things when the Germans lost, when the Germans won, when the English.
What year?
And I remember in 1066 Hastings. That's something that stayed. But I mean, what's the look? I have a phone now if I want to know.
Yeah.
So I felt this is useless. Knowledge, filling me with knowledge, is dangerous because then I'm not free anymore.
Yeah.
And I remember I was supposed to study because that's family business. My father, I told you, maybe he was in the war. He hired for the Germans in the war, in the Second World War. And he was a very intelligent man, and he should have done studies. He wanted to study, but he couldn't because at 13 years they sent him to Norwegian or something to hide for the Germans, to not work in the factories. And when he came back, he learned language. He went to Italy 3 months and he spoke Italian. So I have a little bit from that. You see, and he wanted that all his children had big diplomas because of his trauma.
Yeah.
So I have a brother who is a surgeon, I have a sister who is a lawyer, and I was supposed to do also, he said, you go to university. I said, never in my life I go. I'm so happy that I get out of this shitty school. And he said, well, you must go to university. What are you going to do if you don't go? I said, I'm going to work in your shop. He had a big shop, corporate shop, 19 people working there, very, very big shop.
What was the shop?
We dealt in. Actually, his mother made the business. We had damaged goods. You see, if a factory burns down or a supermarket, insurance paid for it, but they didn't throw it away at that time.
Yeah.
It was just after the war, and my grandmother, there was normally men did. There were 7 people in Belgium who were called by the insurance companies Say, okay, we have a sinistry. This is the goods. It could be everything, motorbikes, toys, frozen ham, whatever. We sold everything you can imagine. We had it. And my grandmother was the only woman, and she went there, and she was ahead the others. Really. You see, it worked like this. You have a big supermarket. There is smoke damage. The boxes are smoke, but the goods inside are still good. Now you have to evaluate how much can I get from this, and then you have to give in a closed envelope the money to the insurance company with 4 or 5 other men. There were not always all the 7 there, but 3, 4, 5, 6, depending. And she often had the best envelope. Now, if suppose we are two giving an envelope, you don't know how much the other is giving. I give 100,000.
Yeah.
But I have it for 100,000 euro. But the next one, we open all the envelopes. The next one is 50,000, and I'm not a good one. See what I mean? She was so good. She could give sometimes 10,000 more than the next one.
She knew what the other person was going to bid.
I don't know how she did it, but she was incredible.
Yeah.
I did it later a little bit too, and I did a good one too. So
and that comes back to the intuition.
Yeah, of course, it's pure feeling. You cannot calculate that.
Yeah.
Listen, and she made, because when we gave 100,000, sometimes it was worth 1 million when you sold it, or 2 million.
Yeah.
My grandmother, money like this, really, yeah. And so I learned a lot because my grandmother was also, she was Catholic, but she was really, I mean, she connected with the divine in her, and she helped a lot of people. She made a lot of money, but she gave so much money to other people.
Yeah.
She could, and so it's no coincidence that she was my grandmother. I learned a lot from her.
Yeah.
And I learned that the more you give, the more you get.
Yeah.
And that's true. Don't believe it, but it's true. And so, why did I come there?
Well, so did you work in that shop? You
Yeah,
said you
I
wanted
worked,
to work in that shop.
So
Because your dad was running it.
But my dad left. It's a big story. My dad left when I was 5 years old. He left. He left. He went away. That I learned much later. You see, in Belgium you have bars, American bars they call it, where women are drinking. Well, women are there, they're working, and when a man comes in, beautiful, nice women, they drink champagne you pay for the champagne. They will try to manipulate you, to get the keys or whatever. These are not really, prostitution also, because you can go in a room upstairs. Yeah. And he went away with one of these girls. He left, she was good looking, really. My mother was not so good looking then. And so, but instead of telling us the truth, my grandmother, her son, said, don't tell the children to my mother. I will take care of you. She built a house for my mother. I'll bring him back. And for 7 years they told me that my father was in a hospital with a very special illness and I could not visit him. This is a huge lie. And if you're brought up with that, you see, all this, I can't tell this because it influences you. And when I find out one day, he came back because the woman kicked him out because my grandmother knew that it was for the money and she didn't give any money to my father.
I see.
You see? So finally he was kicked out with the child. Okay, I can go on, but anyway, what happened is my father came back 7 years later and he had the business. And in the meantime, my grandmother had bought, in 1953, there was a huge, the river in Antwerp, also in Holland, it's a year that's known if you type 19, the inundation, how is it, a flood? Yeah. It was a big flood in Antwerp and in the Netherlands, and there were, in the harbor, Belgium is a carpet exporting country, but I talk about mechanical carpets. Okay. They were all near the French border, and there were 10,000s of carpets in one how do you call it, warehouse. Yeah. And so she was called and she bought, I don't know, maybe 5 big trucks or 10 trucks, I don't know. And
Just watch this.
So we
No, you're okay. You're
sorry.
okay. You
we sold
just give
these.
you a little
No,
bit.
she started selling these carpets, and it became a carpet. But when they were all sold,
Yeah.
she made a lot of money. People still ask for carpets. Also, other things she sold,
Yeah.
But the carpets, and then she started buying second-hand carpets in the factories.
I see.
No, damaged carpets. Second choice. Sorry,
Okay.
not second hand. Second choice. And we became known for just after the war. We're in the 50s, and people were poor, and we were in a part of the city where poor people lived. Sometimes we had to, when there was an arrival of anything, we let only 100 or 200 people in the shop, and the others had to wait. And when they were out, another 200.
Wow.
It was big business. I have seen my brother counting the money in the evening. Every evening, a Mercedes was the daily sales.
Yeah.
Sometimes a house. Incredible.
Wow. So you wanted to work in this business?
I worked there, and my father paid for everything. I was what they call in French a son à papa, a fils à papa.
Okay.
You know that name, fils à papa?
Means son of your dad.
Son of your dad, but it means that your daddy pays for everything.
Oh, okay.
I had a Ferrari, a second-hand one, but I had all the cars. I got everything what I wanted.
Yeah.
But they tried to buy me. You see, I mean that I realized the day I wanted to share more of. I saw how many money and I wanted to pay. I had 5 salesmen, and they loved me, and I loved them, and I wanted to share more with them. Say, my daddy, give them, put them on a percentage basis. They're going to work more. They had got a salary, a fixed salary. So give them, if we make good sales, you give them more. And he did not agree on that. And so I didn't feel it was right that we make so much money and we did not share enough with the people who were working for it also. And then another thing, I was married because my daddy was quite dominant,
Okay.
Authoritarian.
Yeah.
Like this, and you get not, but like this. And also he was sometimes shouting to my mother, and he was 120 kilos. He was,
Wow. Yeah.
And one day he was shouting when I came home. I was 18. I've never been a fighter, but I shopped him. I remember I took him with this, you see, with
Throat, or you took him by the collar.
Yeah. I said, and I pushed him against the fridge, and he was. If you shout, I said, very serious. I said, if you shout one more time, I kill you. Not I kill you. I smash your face or something like that. But I was really upset, and then he was very surprised because I'd never done it. You see, but then when I wanted to, and so I got out. I married very early to get out of the house.
Okay.
It's not a good reason. And then I realized a few 2-3 years later that it was not the good. We didn't go together. She was a very. Yeah, she was a very good wife, but there was nothing.
Didn't have that connection.
Yeah, no. So I quit, but I told him first I wanna divorce, and he said, if you divorce, bonjour, bienvenue. Il y a un grand sous-sol à visiter. Allez-y. So I said, and he said, if you divorce, I give you nothing anymore. I said, what do you mean? I didn't even know, that you had to pay electricity and water. I lived in a house that he paid for. He paid all the bills. And then when he said that, I said, oh my God, this is chantage, bribery. And that's why I left. I left.
You renounced it.
Well, when he was on holiday, because I was running the shop, he was in the office. He was a good businessman in buying, but he was not good in contact with people. He could not face people, you see. And I said, okay, if it's like that, if I cannot divorce, if I have to live the life that my dad wants me to live, I have my own life. I want to live my life. So what I did, when he was 2 weeks on holiday.
How old were you?
I was 27.
Okay.
I had worked 7 years for him.
Okay.
7 years.
Okay.
And I was married for 5 years. I had 2 children, 5 and 3.5. And so I want to get rid of my wife, I want to get rid of my dad, I want to get rid of that business, because I lost, you see, my soul was not anymore in that business. Before I was working like, not working playing, I loved it, but I want to share about it. So, and I said, okay, I do a reset. That was not my waking, it was just necessity, because I started drinking a lot, because I was had stress.
Yeah.
So I quit. I took, when we sold every day about, I told you, 300,000, 400,000 Belgian francs, that's about a day. Yeah, that was the price of a first price Mercedes, was a minimum income per day. So in about 2 weeks, I took all the cash and I put only the checks. We had checks also, a check, a check, in the bank. And the last weekend before he came back, I left to France, but I didn't tell nobody. I didn't tell my wife. I went in the morning to work, took my suitcase with money. I had 1.5 million to buy a small house for that apartment. And I took I had a Toyota 4-wheel drive. I didn't take my Ferrari, and I left with a friend, a woman who was, she wanted to come with me. She wanted to quit her husband also. Anyway, and we drove to the south of France. And I drove first to a place, and then I installed in Agda. That was in 1979.
Okay.
I was 40 then. As I say 79, I was 30. I was born in 49, 30 years old.
Okay.
And I stayed 2 years in France, but I ran out of money. And I started doing markets, things like that, but I was not yet ready to live on my own completely.
Yeah.
So I went back to Belgium, but I loved it here. And I said, I'm going back to Belgium and I'm going to make money. I was with my dad, like he said. You can imagine.
Yeah.
But then,
because you stole from the company.
Yeah, I stole from the company, but I paid him back later, because he gave me, before that happened, he was so rich, he gave to each of his children, he had 3 children, an apartment on the seaside, the Belgian seaside.
I see.
A lot of money now.
Yeah.
And so, when I came back, I went to see him, and he said, and that was before I came back. I came to pick up my Ferrari. I brought back this Jeep, and I said, what are you doing here? I come and get my Ferrari. And he wanted to take the phone. Merci beaucoup. And I said, what are you going to do? I'm going to call the police. He said, that you stole from me. And he had 2 phones on his office. I said, okay, can I use the other phone? He said, why? I'm going to call the tax people. Because I knew how much he did in not declared money.
But he didn't really know it was cash, wasn't it?
Yeah, but I know how the business run. I had in the bookkeeping.
I see.
He had a lot of money that went to Switzerland. And if I called the tax people, it was finished.
Yeah.
So if you bribe me, if you do chantage on me, I can do it too. You see what happened? And then okay, I said, okay, no, I don't call the police. You don't call. Okay. So I took the Ferrari, and then when I came back, and then I said, but is money a problem for you? And he said, you stole it from me. I said, okay, you're right, I stole it from you, but I'll give it back. You have my apartment that you gave to me. It's worth more than, it was about the price that, okay, take it. We go to and it's yours again. You see, so we were quit.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to, and then he took care of he gave that money to my wife, my ex-wife. He bought a house for her.
Yeah, because she was taking care of the children.
Yeah, she was taking care. Yeah, and I was not at that moment not ready to go back to her, because I was also, for me it was a question, the fact what I did there was to survive, because my destiny was, he had also planned to give, he lived in a very residential area near Antwerp, all the big villas, and I had already, there were plans for the villa, that's why I went. The villa, he said, the next piece next to me, the neighbor, is for you, and we will build you architect, you choose your house. Well, it was like a little farmhouse, and everything was already planned, but they didn't start yet. And my wife said that morning, or the day before, we have to go to choose the tiles for the bathroom. And when she said that, I said, oh my God, if I don't get away now, I'm in a prison for the rest of my life, in a beautiful villa, maybe with a big Mercedes in front of it, but I'm a prisoner of that. You see what I mean? And I said, no, I can't make that. I have to go now before they start building that house. Otherwise, I'm really, literally a prisoner. So that's why I drove away. And then I started making my own wife. And then, of course, there was this clash. When I came back, I started first working for one of his concurrent in carpet business.
Okay.
Yeah? And they all wanted to have the son of their. We were one of the biggest shops in the city.
I see.
So that was a little bit to tease back.
Yeah.
It took a few years, but that was ridiculous. I was not yet in my actual state, and
you just wanted to stoke
yeah.
the flames.
I said, okay, you push me, I push you.
Yeah.
Eye for eye, but that's ridiculous. I didn't know. Yeah, I did not know. I was ignorant. You see,
Yeah.
it's very important.
Yeah.
Your state of consciousness.
Yeah.
So then I started another carpet shop myself with a partner for about maybe I wanted to do that 10 years because my partner wanted also to go to France. It's a dream of any does. And I thought we need money for that. So we said we do that business 10 years, we sell it, and with the money we go to France. So from 30 to 40 years. Now, it was in my third year, something like that, that I was in India for carpets. We went to buy carpets in India. And while waiting, I read a book. I told you maybe that I could not do nothing. I was so all the time busy.
Yeah.
And I saw a book, like in hotels here sometimes there's a Bible, but there was a book about Buddha. And I start reading. Well, I wait for my wife. We had to go to a dinner with the suppliers. And I read 5 minutes in that book, and that philosophy, Buddhism philosophy, was so different from the conditioning I was used to that there was a resonance.
Yeah.
So when I came back after that trip, I went to a bookshop. I said, "Do you have books on?" I didn't tell you that, no? And,
I don't think so.
Okay, I went to a bookshop and I said, "Do you have books on Buddhism?" And the woman said, "Was a big bookshop." Yeah, that is also in the department of spiritualism.
Yeah.
Okay, I go there, and then I see so many books, and I was always in a hurry. And I go to the woman who was responsible. I said, "Do you have books on Buddhism?" Yes, she said, "There." But I was in. I said, "What is your preferred book? What would you advise me?" She said, "Yeah, I am in something else." I said, "How something else?" "Yeah, it's close to Buddhism. It's not Buddhism. It's Krishnamurti." "Okay, where is Krishnamurti?" And she showed me. But okay, so many books. It's okay. Give me one that you like. And she took one, and that was the book that was the basis. And I started reading that, and then, wow! I remember that was a shock for me when I read Krishnamurti the first time. It was so resonant. Oh my God! He refuses all authority. It resonates. Whew. But Krishnamurti, I told you, maybe he only gives you questions, no answers, because you have to find the answer yourself. So I go on and I buy another one. And I don't know, my 6th or 7th book. I was one evening in my bed, I told me that story. And I was looking for the answer. Did I tell you that already?
Is this the story where you were?
When I look at the ceiling.
Not this one. No, you told me the one about listening.
Oh yeah, no, it's another one.
Okay.
Yeah, because I keep it. So I'm in my bed and I'm reading the 7th book of Krishnamurti, and he's talking all the time about what is. Krishnamurti is talking about what is.
Yeah.
But that was meaningless for me. If you say, he said, you have to live with what is. For somebody who is in intellect, I don't know what he meant. Do you know what it means?
You have to live with what is for someone who is intellect.
No. We have to live. Krishnamurti's teaching is stay with what is.
Stay with what is.
Live with what is.
Okay.
But what is?
Yeah.
That was my question.
Yeah.
So I got so upset that I took the book and I really, very honestly, I remember that moment, said to myself, sometimes we talk to ourselves,
yeah.
I said, Maurice, maybe there are people on this planet that are able to understand them, but you're not part of them. They must be, maybe they studied, maybe they're more intelligent, but that this is not for you. And I dropped the book and I dropped it on the floor and I lay down in the bed and I'm still upset. And when you're upset, sometimes you go on your own.
Yeah.
What is he thinking? And I was like that and I said, what is? And I lay on my bed, so I said, there is the ceiling. This is Coppola. Exactly what happened. I say, there is a ceiling. And then I think I stayed maybe half an hour looking at the ceiling. Because it was the first time I saw the ceiling. All my attention was with what is the ceiling. Could have been anything.
Yeah.
But I was like taken out of my thinking, my inner dialogue reality, into the moment.
Yeah.
And at the same time, I was realizing some part of me was observing all this. I'll try to be a little bit more compact.
No,
So-
you don't. Here's the thing. Did I tell you the name of the podcast? I think you'll like the name. Maybe you will. I like it.
Yeah.
The name is the Free-Minded Frequency.
Oh yeah.
So there's no need to constrict it. I mean, when we talk, it's for understanding, but I think you already have refined might be the wrong word, but you tell things in a way to invoke understanding, maybe.
Yeah.
And so you don't need to inhibit that with this.
No, I don't have to
intention
justify. I mean, no.
But yeah, coming from me, I enjoy the shifting of a river. You know, it's like.
No, but we have a very good connection.
Yeah. But the image I see, because I agree, I think it's important to think in images.
Yeah.
The image that I just got, it's like a river. You know, a river. It's interesting when it flows and it bends and there's vegetation on the edges. You know, when we take a river and we make it cement and we make it straight.
Oh yeah, no.
Sure, it's more efficient.
Yeah, but it has no charm.
It's just not interesting, is it?
Exactly.
So don't worry about that. But this is interesting. This story about the looking at the ceiling and actually seeing it, actually seeing what the question of which we're always asking, what is, and seeing the ceiling.
Well, I can elaborate. I'll tell you just what happened after that, and also the consequences of that moment are incredible. They changed my whole life.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have been here if that didn't happen like that.
Yeah.
But then after, when an awakening, whatever happens, you have had moments of awakening.
Yeah.
She has had moments of awakening. We all have. But sometimes we go back in the flow, in the mainstream.
Yeah.
And it has to be so intense that it's literally life-changing. It brings you closer to what you really are.
Yeah.
An unlimited spirit.
Yeah.
And your potential is unlimited. I swear it. We can fly if we want, but we forgot it or we don't believe we can.
Yeah.
This is an extreme example, but we're going to see soon. We're approaching a time, and you're going to live it, of miracles. Literally, miracles are things that are not possible in scientific terms or with the paradigm that we are living in, but still they are.
Yeah.
And this is coming closer and closer because it's part of the new consciousness.
Yeah.
It's actually an interaction with the other kingdoms. When I said that mineral kingdom is ready, you know, okay, my scientific sides knows now that everything is quantum fields, and the very important is plasma. You know what plasma is?
Yeah.
It's a state of matter.
Yeah.
Okay. It's a soup of components of atoms.
Yeah.
It's not atoms. It's neutrons, protons, and that's why the building blocks of atoms of matter. So when you can interact with plasma, that's what Jesus did. You create literally. You create the magnetic fields where the atoms will take their positions. Okay. Now we're on, and this can only be the only kingdom that can give the orders with voice, with sound, is the human. That's why in the beginning was the word.
Yeah.
That's how creation started. Don't believe this part, but you can follow a little bit.
Yeah.
So when we remember, okay, I give you an example. Now what we do, we make glass, we make iron tables, we make objects. But what we do, we change just the order of the atoms. We open the earth, we take minerals, and we, by heat, by chemical interactions, we change them into cars, into phones. That's what I call solid state matter.
Yeah.
And in a certain way, solid state is animated. You can, I was eating on my, one day I'll invite you if you want, where I live.
I would love to.
And I was eating I have a little table, Indian table, and all of a sudden, this is space, I feel love coming to me, but like a wave, eh? Oh my God, what is this? I already felt it from my dog, from other people, but it came from my table. And then I connect, I cannot really, I try to describe what happened. I feel all of a sudden how much that table loves me. And at that moment when I didn't think, because if I think I block with this is not possible, yes, it happened, so it is possible. And the table said to me, I will try to say, you cannot imagine how much I like it that you use me. Because the only reason I did is to serve you, is to be a table for you. And now you're taking your food, that's my way of loving you. But now that you feel it, I'm so happy. I said, oh my God, I love you really, and I know now, and I said, I love you, you see what I mean. I love you for the fact that you are just a table, but I didn't know that you were conscious.
Yeah. And it's the way you do it as well. It's like, it's not just that you're eating off the table, maybe it's the energy that you give
I don't know, I felt that love.
Okay.
I felt that love and I tried just to communicate it.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden I realized, but if the table and then the cabinet and my glass, all this, but now, what is the difference? They are solid state.
Yeah.
And since they are made from conscious atoms,
it's off again. Use the battery there. Give me the battery. Yeah.
When it's too crazy, it stops.
Yeah, I guess so.
You see, this is a good example of life.
This is life.
Life is now, because life is doing everything. Eh? This meeting is live. I told you, since you are live and you are live, who organized this? Life, not you, not me. Life does it. You see what I mean? And when this happens, it makes sense in a certain way.
Yeah, it does. But we try to fight it, right? So how do we, like, it's interesting because we want to maybe...
To control it.
Yeah, we want to impose our will or control, right?
Control.
And in a certain sense, that's how we've gotten as far as we have.
Yeah.
There's another argument that could say that we've gotten further away from what we need to, for sure. But in certain senses, like that is how society has developed, by us employing a very masculine energy of, I think we talked about this, like the masculine versus the feminine, and the masculine being like more material, imposing will in the material.
Masculine is normally action, eh? I told you, yin is inspiration, and then what do you do with inspiration? If in a man both are there, or in a woman, the yin receives from life, from source, from God, call it what you want, and then it has to be transmuted into action.
Yeah.
It has to be incarnated.
Yeah.
That's why we have to radiate instead of talk.
Yeah.
I should not. At the moment we still talk, but there will be a moment when we have to stop. When we will stop talking, and because you will know. We will know just by telepathy. Okay. And then, but now at the moment, this transformation in action, we are in a zone between two states. It's like when water freezes. Before it's very, very cold, and then all of a sudden it's a little bit difficult to see. But there are states in between. There is no sharp line. In
between the liquid and the solid.
No, but there is that's why I talked about the quantum awakening, like an awakening, like what I had. Many people have it at the moment. You can have many books about awakenings. Sure. And it's a moment when somebody sees reality without filter, without the conditioning he had. Yeah. That's why the book I Pastor,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't know if you read just in the introduction.
Yeah.
This man was one of the only ones that I read that has no filter, a little bit maybe Christian,
Yeah.
but that's not a filter because Christ consciousness, they call it,
Yeah.
is actually reality. Not that I say it's better than other. It's not a religion. It's not.
It's just a label. The
Yeah.
way that I
Well,
think about it, it's just a label.
It's a label. It's a way of living, a way of being. The moment Shakespeare said to be or not to be, that is the question. That's an awakening on itself. It's a teaching in.
So for you, going back to what is.
Yeah. So what happened is, I see. In the back of my head, I would say, was kind of an observator, a neutral. You can observe your thoughts.
Yep.
Who is observing your thoughts? Is that a part of you? Is that your soul? I don't know. See what I mean?
Yeah.
So that part said, "Hey, Maurice, you never had." I was also in a state of peace. You cannot. What I was doing, I started when I saw the ceiling. Automatically, I started breathing. Now they call this breath work, but I started doing that like if I knew it deep inside me, and I started breathing on a very regular basis. Intake until it's not comfortable. Out, expired until it's not comfortable. With the pause.
Yeah.
The pause, and it was automatic. It was and all mammals do this.
Yeah.
You look at the cat, the horse, you see they're breathing. The only mammal who stops breathing regularly is the human when he thinks. That's how they found yoga. They found that if you concentrate all your attention on your breath, on your breath, you cannot think at the same time. It's impossible. You can, the one or the other. That's the basis of yoga.
I see.
It's all about your breath. So, and I was there, and I see that ceiling, and very slowly my eyes go to a cabinet that was there, and the observator said, "What did you do? Because this state, you have never been in this state. This is just incredibly blissful." And immediately the answer came. It's the first time in your life that you didn't do anything, include thinking. It was, and that's what Krishnamurti called that a state of choiceless awareness. You are aware of whatever is there, but you have no preferences, so you are aware of everything without giving your particular focus to something or someone.
Is that what the choiceless refers to?
Yeah,
or is the choiceless?
The choiceless.
But maybe it also refers to we don't choose that we observe. Where forced might be the wrong word. It might have a negative connotation.
No, I would say you are aware. I would give an example. You can be aware and say, yeah, but the wallpaper should be a little bit more pink or should be green instead of... That's a choice. That's an awareness with choices. Yeah. You are all the time critical, labeling things.
Yeah. But I guess why it makes me think of that is because a lot of people, myself included, it's oftentimes we want to fall asleep. We want to run away from the awareness because there might be pain there.
Yeah.
And so a lot of times I think people could term it as that is our suffering. Our suffering is that we are forced into awareness, that we are conscious beings, and that we cannot change that we're conscious unless you like numb it with whatever people numb it with, alcohol, drugs, certain behaviors, whatever.
Yeah.
And that's how we fall away, right? Is because we are afraid of the pain.
Yes, 100% right. But you see, after my awakening started a period of facing all my fears and all my pains and all my traumas that I had not completely integrated or accepted.
Yeah.
That starts after that. It's not an awakening. It's not now I'm okay. Now I'm on the terminus and life is no. You just become a lot more conscious, and you become. First of all, I became conscious that I could make choices, any choice, and I was able to face the consequences of my choices. Because that's the problem. I hear often, "Je n'ai pas le choix." I don't have choice. In French, they say, "J'ai pas le choix." It means I have a credit. or I am married, I have a husband, or I have a wife.
I'm obligated.
And I'm obligated, and I have obligations that I have to fulfill.
Yeah.
But who? That's a choice. You choose to fulfill your obligations.
I think we simplify that because we don't want to admit that we're afraid. We're just saying, nope, I'm obligated, I have to do it. But in truth, you do have the choice. You just have to face the consequences of your choice.
Yes, that's it. We don't have enough, since we don't know who we really are, unlimited, and since we have we think we have not enough power to do that, to face it, but I found out in the meantime, but that's because that happened when I was, I was 38, that's about 40 years ago almost, and I realized in the meantime I had to learn a lot of things after that, and I learned that trauma, they talk a lot about trauma, trauma, of childhood trauma. The video I sent you, I don't know if did you...
Yeah, I watched the beginning of that.
Okay.
Very interesting story.
If you have time, watch all of it.
Yeah.
Or if you don't feel it, don't do it. But if you watch all of it, the story of that woman is a fantastic example of how heavy it can be and how much you can change. And she's a living example. She was a drug addict, a prostitute. She went really deep. And she had an insight, an awakening, that changed the whole thing. But it's so... I recognized parts of... And I said, okay, there is no worse, because you cannot compare. Because everybody takes what he can handle.
Yeah.
See, I had to handle the suicide of my wife, and I can handle it. I don't know if I would be as easy that if she would have been crushed by a truck. You see, for me it's more difficult. Because a suicide is a choice. Yeah. And a choice must be respected. You see what I mean?
Would you mind telling me more of that story? I haven't heard
the story.
Yeah.
I didn't tell you?
No.
Oh, well, I didn't, okay. When I was, actually when I left the second time after that awakening, I had this business with my partner, shop in Antwerp, Oriental carpets, Persian carpets and Indian carpets. And I called him the next morning because I had this insight. I'm not gonna, okay, in the meantime, in these 3 years that I run the shop, I became as well an alcoholic. I was already as a drug addict because I had a lot of stress. And now, a doctor once said, I told you maybe, we were in a company and we were having a dinner together, and there was a doctor. You
didn't tell me this.
Oh, and he said, you were never an alcoholic. I said, sorry? I don't lie, sir. I was an alcoholic because I drank in the morning when I woke up, 2 or 3 coffee with cognac. I had, in the worst period, I had half a bottle of whiskey before noon, and every meal was aperitif, wine or beer, and pousse café, we call it. Means, and after the meal, a cognac, or if you're not an alcoholic. But he said, no, but you are drinking, I was drinking a glass of wine at that moment. You see, if you were a real alcoholic, you could not touch that wine without falling back into alcohol. I've never seen an ex-alcoholic, they stop drinking, but they never touch alcohol anymore.
Yeah.
Because as soon as they touch it, they go for it again.
Yeah.
I said, no. They say, you don't know the real reason for drug addicts. The real reason is fighting against stress. So if you take the stress out of your life, there is no reason to drink or to use drugs.
Yeah.
You see what I mean?
Yeah.
But to believe that, you have to try it.
Yeah.
You cannot believe me because I say it.
Yeah.
If you have, do you use drugs or alcohol?
I smoked weed I started smoking weed when I was 16.
Yeah, that's
smoked
normal.
weed quite regularly.
Yeah.
And I never thought it was like necessarily like a problem. And
no,
like we're not taught, oh, weed, it's not
but
addictive, it's good for you.
Do you sometimes use it did you use it in the morning?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, I would smoke all day. I mean, I went through periods where I was smoking more, smoking less. I would take breaks and whatever. I quit 6 months ago.
You quit?
Yeah.
And do you feel? Is it painful? Do you still think about it sometimes?
Maybe I think about it.
Would it bring you? Okay, I say if you smoke till the moment it is no more, it doesn't bring you joy anymore, then we have to stop.
Yeah.
See, I used weed to fight alcohol.
Yeah.
But then oh man. And then the most difficult was cigarettes for me to stop.
Yeah.
I stopped and I started again, and then one day I stopped because it was the moment, and that's why life informs you. Beautiful word, inform. It brings in your form the information that you need to keep this form in a good condition.
And that's exactly what I received as well.
So you got the impulse, it's enough.
Yeah.
It doesn't suit you anymore. It doesn't serve you anymore.
And it's interesting because I liked the image of me as a stoner. You know, I liked the culture. It sort of connected me too.
And all your friends probably were also smoking. But now you have other friends.
I do, but I still connect with people that are smoking, and that's the important thing for me. Is I was able to stop before, but not be around people that are smoking. But
that's very interesting.
But now I can be around people that are smoking, and I don't need to smoke. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
And the thing with tobacco as well, like. I smoked cigarettes sometimes, but I wasn't like really into it. But like with weed, smoking tobacco with cigarettes, and I felt it physically. Like I felt a physical pressure, and I don't know. I sort of had a fear. I'm like,
feels it,
exactly, and I'm like, and then if I would try to do cardio or whatnot, I felt very very limited and very like choking almost.
So you said you started 16 and you're 22. So you handled in 6 years. Something that it took for me about 20, 30 years to handle. And that's where you see the acceleration of consciousness, the new souls that come. They go through they have the same challenges, but they can handle it much faster because humanity, conscious of humanity, you can take in that. You are part of it, and it's also part of your experience. And that's why you go so fast. Do you know that when I was 22 and I took a flight to India, for instance, 25, as soon as the fasten seatbelt signs was out, you cannot imagine that today, everybody started smoking. The whole plane, eh? And there were sometimes 2 people in the back, they were completely in the last row, who didn't smoke. And now only, I said, how did they manage to be non-smoker in a plane where 200 people are smoking? It's incredible. So you see how consciousness has changed. Today it's even, they are banned a little bit. You cannot smoke anymore in a restaurant. In the shop where I worked with my father, I had a customer selling a carpet, sit down to make the paperwork or the
contract.
And then the first thing you do, cigarette, sir? Oh no, I don't smoke that brand. Okay, I have others. And everybody was smoking all the time. So there's something that changed in the meantime, and that's the same thing with many things.
Well, it's interesting. I think drugs serve a certain role. I use the word drugs. I know, like in French, I don't know in Dutch if it has. I mean, in English it does have a negative connotation, but it's also just an objective term for.
Of course. Here too. It's médicament.
Médicament. Well, see, like there's médicament and there's drug, but like in English, drug is just, yes, it has a negative connotation, but it's not like medicine is specifically something that helps you. But a medicine is a drug.
Of course.
You see, in French, they don't see it that way. It's one or the other.
If you go to a pharmacy, people come out with bags full of drugs. They are addicted because it's free here. Everything is paid for. I don't know another country where they use as much drugs. Well, Switzerland also, they like drugs. Because young people in Switzerland, I have a few Swiss friends, they go, because it's a society that is very, very
rigid.
I would never live in Switzerland. In Belgium it's the same, it's a small scene, and it's very, it's dangerous. I mean, for me it's dangerous. Of course, I don't know how you see it, but you left Switzerland.
No, I'm still living there.
You're still living there. I have a friend who is Swiss, a woman. She was a psychotherapist. She was from the German part of Switzerland also, Bern, near Bern. And she came to live here, but she's going through hell adapting to France now. because everything is so regular and timed and people are correct, but you need a lot of money to make that, to run that. You see what I mean? And money is very central in their in the society. If you don't have money, difficult, huh? So you see, we all, but that's typical. We choose. I say you choose to be in America. Now you're not there. I choose to be born in Belgium. She chose to be born in Switzerland. But when you don't believe it, but when you become aware of why you choose that, you say, of course it makes a lot of sense, because the challenges that wait you are the ones that you need, and the ones that waited me are the ones that I needed.
Yeah.
They're made on.
And the reason I think this belief can be valuable, not that any belief is necessary, and that sometimes not believing anything is what is necessary, but I think it's all like a tool. Like our mind is this. It does magic, right? As you're pointing to, and whatever we like, if we allow ourselves to believe something, which is that we had the choice, and I agree with you. I like thinking in this way, because there's other people, we've talked about this, but there's other people that there's like another ism, antinatalism, right? People that think that, oh, it's immoral to give birth because people didn't have the choice to come here. Interesting theory. Maybe I'm not saying they're wrong.
Sorry, repeat.
Antinatalism.
Yeah.
That it's immoral to have children.
Yes.
Because you are forcing someone to live. They did not consent to
but
live.
they don't know that. Yeah, they don't agree that the ones that come choose their parents.
Well, that's what I'm
because you
saying.
can turn it away. Eh?
Yeah, exactly. I think about it like, why don't we say that we have the choice? That way we can empower ourselves. That's what I mean with belief. Belief gives us, like, it is a tool. It brings us into different states, into different rooms. And if we say that we have the choice, I don't know if it's true. I could be totally wrong. But if I believe that, what does that do?
It becomes your reality.
It becomes my reality, and it gives me power.
That's the power of creation.
Yeah.
I mean, now belief is it's also a dangerous word, because I say belief systems, they will stop with history. Because when history stops, we are in the present. And in the present, you don't need a belief system. You need to be with what is again.
Yeah.
And you deal with whatever, and then you connect to what I call, and I don't like the word, the divine plan. Because, you see, if you make whatever you're going to make, a movie, a painting, a house, you make a plan first.
Yeah.
Okay? Now, if you want to make a universe like this, you have a plan. It's not just, it just doesn't happen. In a certain way it happens on its own, but there is a consciousness there that initiated it.
Yeah.
In this case, even a sound.
Yeah.
That consciousness pronounced just a sound, a vibration,
Yeah.
and that tone, this Om, is still sounding.
Yeah.
And everything you see is that Om manifesting.
Yeah.
Okay? Now in the post history, sound becomes primordial. I will have it's funny what I'm going to say, but I have sometimes glimpses of, when I say a new world, it means that it's unknown, eh? Otherwise it's not new, eh?
Yeah.
Because if it's known, it's not
Yeah.
new.
Novel.
Yeah.
It's novel.
So you cannot imagine it, but you can have sometimes, like, suppose you come in a valley with a beautiful valley, but there is over the clouds, and you come with the plane and every time now before landing you see a glimpse where the clouds are not so.
Yeah.
But then it's gone again. That kind of glimpse. I mean.
see.
And it said that, for instance, the way we procreate ourselves, sex disappears. It's sound. Things will be created with sound.
Yeah.
Because, of course, the bodies will not be the same. Now we are carbon-based, but it will be more light-based, I would
Can
say.
I ask you something? Do you have, like you've had these experiences, like these awakening experiences. Has it been drug-induced
no,
in any?
No.
Have you ever has psychedelics been a part of any of this for you?
Listen, as a soul, there are two things I don't touch on, and I know that I convinced myself before coming that I would not touch in this life on psychedelics, really, although I had fantastic experiences with marijuana, it's also psychic. But LSD, for instance, and ayahuasca and all these things, I don't need it. I have a friend he did maybe 200 ayahuasca ceremonies and all the things you can imagine, a good friend. And once he said, rapé, you know rapé?
No.
It's a root, and this root, grate it, and then with a little pipe, they blow it in your nose.
Oh yeah, okay.
And it gives an immediate, Now I had the shop, before the shop, I had rented a farmhouse on 600 hectares. On Google there are still pictures of that. 300 square meters, 13 rooms, all decorated. Big. And he said, can I come and do I had like a cave inside, in the stone completely, a room. Can I do my rapé there? I said, okay, John, do, I don't mind. And then he said, he communicates with spirits. He had once, I had an experience, my wife, that committed suicide. He said, we're going to do some eye gazing. He knew her, and we sat in front of him, and all of a sudden, I was looking at him, we sat both pretty close. All of a sudden, I was looking at him, and morphing, his face changed completely, and it became my wife. Exactly, with the hair, everything. Eyes open, no drugs. Oh my God, and she came through his face, that I don't know what happened. And I was so happy, because I know that dead people are still there. Now listen, okay, now at the moment she's here. She comes every time I talk about it, her spirit is here. Because she is like, they are, in the beginning not, but after some time they become like guardian angels. They are still connected to us, and they help us.
Yeah.
If we want, if we don't believe that, it's not possible. But that's always the same. If you don't open the windows, fresh air cannot come in. Your spirit is the same. Okay, and so I see her, and I tell him, and I said, he said, I felt the presence of crystal. I said, you say, you work, you were morphing into her. When you live things like that and you have not used any drugs and it happens, what do you do with that? It's just an experience, huh? I tell this to almost nobody because I don't want to convince people, but things are possible.
Of course.
So, but I knew that before I incarnated in a certain way, I'm like you, both of you, you lived many, many lives, I already told you. And you went through every possible scenario. Beautiful, ugly, rich, poor, sick, good health, everything. And it's because you lived through all these scenarios that you were needed now. That's why I told you that. Huh? And you are here to help in the biggest transition of humanity that ever took place, to help. And how you help? By bringing joy in this world. And you're going to bring joy by making movies or whatever. You're going to bring joy and I bring joy with my shop. And everybody in his own unique way, because nobody can do the same thing as you can do, nobody. It's impossible. You have a unique way of doing it that makes you different. You have many people who make beautiful songs, but they're all different.
Yeah.
Whether it be John Lennon or, they all bring a certain vibe that will connect with certain people that need that vibe and not the other one.
Yeah.
That's why I say sometimes Michael Jackson sold a lot of, but not everybody likes him.
Yeah.
He appeals to some and not to others, and vice versa.
Yeah.
And that once you see, that is what I call the dance of life. And the dance of life, we all have a place in that dance. And I compare it more with an instrument.
Yeah.
I said there are 8 billion instruments. Now we are in a period where people are looking for their instrument. Some found it, you found it, now you have to play it.
I like this metaphor that we're all finding our instrument to play. What would you say to someone that feels an urge to play an instrument but doesn't know where to start?
Okay, good question. Then I would say, suppose it's you,
Yeah.
because it's easier.
Of course.
what is the urge? What is your urge, I would say then? What do you feel? And what keeps you from doing it? And then normally, okay, I can, if it's your case, you can answer, but normally the answer will be, yeah, often the answer is, I cannot do it because it doesn't bring me money to live. That's one of the answers.
Yeah. Or maybe my answer is, I feel something, but I don't know exactly what I feel, and there's all these options.
Yeah,
and
okay, fantastic, wow, beautiful. Well, take then now, as soon as possible, prime time for you. Give you absolute priority. Whoever, friends, girlfriends, parents, put them on hold, on wait, and go in nature. Go in a place where you feel good, or maybe in the middle of the city, but generally it's nature, because in nature there is makes no sense to do as if you are something else. I told you this.
I see. So you're not trying to imitate someone else.
Yeah, I tell you, I can walk through the city here.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
It's okay.
I can walk to the city if I have the right watch and the right clothes, and like this, I exaggerate. And if I have the right car, I can impress some people eventually.
Sure.
But if I do that in the forest, no tree, no rabbit, and no rock will be, makes no.
So it takes the motivation back to yourself.
Yeah, you bring
into being yourself, and not to impress someone else or to create some image. You're not worried about the image. You're concentrated on.
Well, you're 22, beautiful. So it is. I remember it's very difficult to live. No, it's not. They teach us that you need the image. You must have an image, and you go. That's what fashion is based on that. But original people, they look. She's very original. She takes the clothes exactly that she likes, and she puts them together, and that's original. And some people will say, "Why you had to do it?" Well, the common factor is, I love these boots, I love that thing, and I love this jewel. You see what I mean? And you have interiors where people, I say to people, sometimes they come. I had people coming in with a cushion, or with a piece of their curtains. I say, "What are you going to do with this?" "Yeah, I want something that goes with my curtains." I say, "You throw that away immediately, because what goes with your curtains is what you like. If your heart chose the curtains, let your heart choose something, and they will match." And you see sometimes interiors, they're in magazines, wow, they combine every style, mixed, but there is no thinking involved. There is just crush on this, crush on that, crush on that, put this all together, and you have a fantastic thing.
Yeah.
And then they put it in the magazine.
Yeah.
And then they say, "Well, you had to think." No, you have not to think.
And then they start making theories
and
on
then
it.
they
This is a style,
and then it becomes a trend,
and it works like this.
And then other people are copying it.
Yeah.
But the first ones who did it, they didn't want to. They wanted
felt
just to be good in their own place.
Yeah.
And if you have that originality, and you have that, both of you, you have this. I cannot see that in your look, the way you look. You don't try to be someone else. And it's a little bit. I didn't pay much attention to your pictures, but I felt another vibe.
Yeah.
I felt the vibe of, I would say, well, what you say now, not what am I going to do, how am I going to do it.
Yeah.
But that vibe is, for me, it's almost gone.
Interesting.
It's like I feel now a being who is, okay, let's put it out. You know what you don't want.
Yeah. Yeah.
And there you didn't know exactly.
I see.
There were still things that you were not sure if you wanted them or not.
Yeah.
But the more you know what you don't want, the more you come close to your instrument.
I see.
And if you suppose in this are some aspects that make you, hey man, okay, drop them. You see? And do it your way.
Yeah.
Like Sinatra said, do it your way.
Yeah.
Do it because you have one unique way, and it's that way that people recognize, and that makes you radiate.
Yeah.
And they are, some come and some will like it. You know, there are 8 billion people,
Yeah.
And I tell you, I am live, And live doesn't give a shit about my opinion, personal and yours. Not a shit. And these 8 billion, they may think what they want. They are free. I love them for the way they are. But if I am gonna try to please them, I did that for a long time, and it doesn't work. That's my experience. So if you start doing only what you like and nothing, no compromise, if you are, suppose you asked me, when you ask me, you want to do this,
Yeah.
and then I immediately have a feeling, and it was a good feeling, so I do it. But if it was not a good feeling, I would have said, Cooper, I don't feel it.
Yeah.
And then you may, and it's not sure, that you have the guts to ask why. Because I did this with people, I don't feel it.
Yeah.
And if you want, I can explain. No, it's not necessary. It's enough.
Huh. Yeah, that's
I give you an example. I have somebody who is in our circle of people, but it's not a friend. Friends you have very, very few. I told you. One hand you can count them. Real friends.
Yeah.
This was a friend. We call it a friend, but it's not, because I have a lot of, I would say, resonance with him.
Yeah.
But then also a lot of not resonance with him in certain domains. And it doesn't mean he's right or wrong, or I'm right or wrong. It's just that there is not enough to call him a friend.
Okay.
Because, well, he has, for him, for instance, he's about a bit younger than me, but for him, music stopped, he's a musician, with Pink Floyd.
Okay.
And after that, rap, worthless. So strong opinions, these are judgments for me. If you're not open to that music, find other forms, then you cannot be, I cannot call you a friend, because you're judging all the time. You see what I mean? He was judging music. Eventually, I said I like all music, but not all the time. Sometimes I like rap, but not much rap. For an hour, it's okay for me. And then, and what I like most now is silence. Although I talk a lot, but in nature, and if you go in silence, then you come closer to your inner being.
Yeah.
If you can have the inner dialogue, that stops because you see a beautiful landscape, a beautiful flower, a beautiful sky, and you see the beauty that surrounds you all the time.
This brings me to a question. Which one is it? Maybe it's both. Is it when I am with myself, I know what I want, or if I know what I want, that brings me to who I am? That brings me to myself. You see what I mean? If I look at one of these tapestries and I'm like, wow, I really, or whatever, I'm looking at a cloud or whatever it is, and I say, wow, I really love that. And maybe it's not something I can express with words.
Can I change that and say that you see the perfection of something?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yes. You see the perfection of something, and I'm drawn to it in a way, like as you were saying, like, and we equip that. You know, I'm like, oh, I like these pants. I'll wear these pants, right? And we equip what we like, and somehow that.
That makes you stronger.
It makes us stronger, but I guess the question is, again, going back to finding ourselves, because when we find ourselves, we know what we want to do, right? Or is it like can we go the other way as well, I guess? Because I think it's so hard, this question of who am I? It's as difficult as the question of what is. And so are there other pathways to get there? By seeing, if I'm really, if I let drop away other people's opinions or my wanting to impress someone else or whatever that garbage is, if I let that drop away and I really like something, like for example, I like staff spinning, like and I it's not because like I wanted to like impress, I like the feeling of turning it around, and it makes me feel like a kid too. When I would go into the forest and I'd play with sticks or whatever, and I just like the feeling, and I'm like, this is interesting. What does this says something to who I am. I feel. You know, like I had this feeling of like me liking this is a reflection of who I am. You know, so can we get to who we are by finding those things that we actually see the perfection in, as you said.
But now you go to essence. You say, who am I? That's what was written on the temple again. Gnoti Sauton, know thyself. You are life. And when these are words, as long as it's a sentence, when I say you are life, oh yeah, interesting. But can you feel that? Can you see what that implies, what that means that you are life? You see? And your identity is the basis of everything. So as long as you don't find your real identity, you will turn around in circles around who you are, but you will not but there is a moment that you say, oh no, I see. You see what happened to me when the first time I said that sentence, I am alive. And I remembered that Jesus said that. He said that. That's famous, eh? I'm life, I'm the life, I'm life, I'm the truth, I'm the way. But then I remember, oh, I am the truth also. And I am the way also.
Yeah.
I am not walking away. And you, if you really are very, very present, you can say, that's the only truth you can say. I am life. I am the truth. I am the way. Now I would say stick with that. I have whole teaching in 3 words. And if you stick with that, now I can give you, I use tools. Because I am not perfect and I forget sometimes.
Yeah.
And I am fully aware of what I'm saying. But there are moments, especially when we have emotions that attack us or that are generated by environment, and we get trapped because we leave our center and we step into the story of somebody else. All people invite you in their stories, non-stop.
Yeah.
Look at it, you will see it. A boss you want to work for, he wants that you play in his story.
Yeah.
If he sees that you are very good, he will let you play your story maybe in his story. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's really about stories, eh? And if you are aware that there is one main scenario, there is a divine plan. I would say there is life is going somewhere. I told you maybe I like the French word l'univers, vers l'uni.
Okay.
You see what I mean?
Yeah.
They have Verlan, the French, eh? Verlan is à l'envers. But if you do Verlan with the univers, you have vers l'uni. And that's where we're going. We go to unity.
Yeah.
And you can see that, look at the planet. There are wars at this moment because in the beginning there were families, then there were tribes.
Yeah.
Then the French were, I don't know how many tribes. When Caesar took them all, they made La Gaule, les Gaulois. And then France, tribes together. There are still people who are in tribal mode, the Corsica,
Britannia.
Yeah, and
I mean here too in Occitan.
Here, but if you see the history of Europe, it was a history of all the nations who were making wars. The English against the French, against the German, against the Spanish, against the Dutch. And when we made Europe, you go on another scale.
Yeah.
Now there's no war between European countries anymore. And the more you go, I know we go to planetary.
Yeah.
And then we go to solar. And then we go to galactic. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
But some people are still in tribal mode, and that's where the wars are, especially in Africa. Tutsi and Hutu, I know, because if there is a Hutu president, all the Tutsis have to go and hide and set up because they kill them, and vice versa. And Middle East also, tribal. And so when you go on smaller scales, you have more war than when you go on bigger scales. And we are now going to shift to this unity consciousness where there are prophecies. American Indians have prophecies about the new time that's coming that say that there comes a period of 1,000 years without war, with peace, and the golden period. Also in the Hindu Vedas is that written. We are in the Kali Yuga, but when the Kali Yuga is finished, you go into it's just cycles. And all these things, but it starts with you and with me. If we first find who we are, that we are life and we are not separate. If I say I'm life, it means I am you also. You know this Maya word? They had the word, I forgot. Not inshallah. It means I'm another yourself.
Okay.
And Ubuntu, you know Ubuntu?
I've heard this word, but I'm forgetting
Ubuntu
now.
is a Linux system.
Yes.
I use Ubuntu. Ubuntu is an African word. You know what it means in one word?
No.
I am the one who is and who is all the others that are. Oh my God.
Wow.
I am the one who is.
Yeah.
What is. And who is all the others that are. That means that I am life, because life is everything. And that's an old, not old, it's an African. And the guy who made Ubuntu is a little bit like Bill Gates who made Windows. It's the free open source.
Yeah.
And he said he's a multimillionaire, and he put a lot of money into developing Ubuntu under a name to make Linux more accessible for people who are in open source mode.
How, I guess, but the enemy is maybe the wrong word, but the I think you said this to me, which I believe as well. There's only love and fear.
Yeah,
isn't
exactly.
it?
That's
so. How do we get past fear? Even if you said
that's a good question,
I like this metaphor that you use. This stuck with me. That it only takes a couple drops of dye to change the whole color of a glass of water.
I should bring this glass here.
Right. And I think that's a very strong visual. But I don't know if practically it's so simple.
Okay.
The world is full of complexity, isn't it? And there's always, if there's someone that's afraid, for example, like the foundation of society is built on violence, isn't it?
But violence is fear, eh?
Yeah.
You only people who are fearful are violent.
Yeah.
If you are in love, you're not violent.
Yeah.
So fear actually is based. You have to go elaborate. Is based on ignorance.
Mm-hmm.
When you don't know, you are dangerous. That is, and then I told you about that Toran there above the door.
No.
That little hand, 5 fingers.
Yeah.
These people, that are the people who make these things. Oh, sorry.
No, it's
they
okay.
are animists, eh?
Yeah.
And you see these animists live in circles. Now I go, a circle, why?
Yeah.
If you put a candle there or an oil lamp, you have a circle of light.
Yep.
If I put here my candle and I build 4 walls, my circle, is not, I have corners where the light does not come.
Yeah.
And that's where the ignorance hides.
I see.
It goes where light cannot see it.
Okay.
So darkness and light is like fear and love, eh? In a certain way.
Yes.
It's duality. But they say the woman has to, when a woman is going to rent or buy a house or an apartment, when she steps through the door, she knows if she's going to take it immediately. A studio, you walk in and you feel something. You feel good or not?
Women have a very good connection to their intuition, I think.
You're not?
Yeah.
You have, eh?
Yeah.
Okay, so you know what I mean, eh? They will visit because, okay, we're curious, but she knows already if she's going to take it.
Yeah.
Men also sometimes, if they're connected to their feminine, immediately, oh, feel good here, I like it. Or, get out. So this is your inner voice, la petite voix, I call it in French. If you listen to that, that's your connection with your spirit, and he informs you, more beautiful word, all the time, continuously, in the ever-present moment, in nowhere, now here.
Yeah.
Huh? So it's now, we are all now here, we're nowhere. We're not somewhere else, we're nowhere, we're here now. If we are staying here, that's enlightenment. Enlightened people are, we can know together, go stay in this moment. Enjoy it. And our feeling will tell us when if it doesn't feel repetitive, get out.
Yeah.
See? Then we have to go somewhere else. And if we follow that voice, that's the guidance that all the people, when we all connect, it's like these birds, you have seen them, les étourneaux. You have seen that above the vineyards, les vignes, comment on dit ça?
Vineyard? The vineyard.
Yeah, the vineyards. Eh? Well, you see these black birds, they fly sometimes 10, 20,000. You have never seen that? You go out, and they fly, and you see like a black cloud. Then you see all of a sudden gray or nothing, white. And they fly at 50 kilometers an hour on one wing length separated from each other. And they are 10,000 up to 50,000 sometimes. It's beautiful to see them. And how can that be? At 50, you take so many planes. You need what kind of computer you need to do that? And they all have a little small brain with their computer inside. The natural, that's why I say Natural intelligence is okay. Don't try to. You can use it as a tool, EA, but IE. But you see,
AI.
IA. But that's how we will be. Suppose we are like this. I was a fisher. Eh? I used to fish a lot, and you know there are here in the Mediterranean, lamelette. It's called lamelette. It's a very small fish, silvery. They are millions, and they have two enemies: the seagulls and the bar. Le bar is, they call it also le loup de mer. It's a carnivore fish that attacks from beneath, and the seagulls, and they swim like these birds, so close. And when they turn, they never hit. They turn all together. And when you see these seagulls plunge, there is a big opening in the 1 million fish because they're all connected, and they move together. And so sometimes one will get. But that's protection, natural protection to be in a herd. And from the beneath, and if you see how nature functions, so they are connected. Now suppose humans are connected like that, in love, and nobody is fearful anymore. Can you imagine the planet? Oh my God, imagine John Lennon. That's a soul that was sent to send messages, to remember the ones that came, hey, here. One of the messages. And even now, if you look at I'm sure I never listened to there is a woman, a girl who is very famous at the moment, very, very famous. She sells a lot of music. What's her name? I mean...
Taylor Swift?
Huh? Yeah.
Taylor Swift?
Why, I didn't understand.
Taylor Swift, is that who you're talking about?
Yeah. She, Taylor Swift, yeah, sorry. Yeah, but I'm sure I wanted, but I didn't do it till now. I want to listen some of her texts, because I'm sure that she brings messages that are very interesting for the moment in her texts. Do you like her, or?
I don't like her.
No, but it's for the mass. It's for the
her text sometimes.
Yeah. Well, I'm not into putting somebody on a pedestal, but often these people are souls that were sent to bring messages that go with the collective evolution for unity, and so they will go into subjects that are at that moment critical and give advice to the young people that maybe is more interesting than what their parents tell them. You see what I mean?
If we take it the other way, if we say, okay, a few drops of dye can change the water, doesn't that also mean that a drop of poison can poison the whole bottle? And that is the problem with this fear, isn't it?
Yeah, but now you label something in good and bad, and that's again now I go to the origin story of. It's funny because it's not Catholic or Christian even, because the story about paradise is much older. People have been looking for that. Actually, it's symbolic. It's a myth. Indians used myths. American Indians have myths, lots of myths. Myths are a way to convey something that you cannot really express. So God is in the paradise with Adam and Eve, and he says, okay, you have whatever you need. There's food. Work did not exist. Okay, I'll leave you, and he goes away. And, oh yeah, one thing, don't eat from the tree of knowledge. I told you that. The tree of good and bad also they call it. Because
the knowledge of good and evil.
Yeah,
the tree of knowledge of good and evil.
You see, in the absolute, when souls, before you came here, you came for experiences. And the labeling has happened after your birth, not before. Because a soul wants just to experience. And the experience is the teacher. And if you label that good and bad, yeah, you can do that. But and so we have to step out of judging things.
Yeah.
And the moment you live with what is, you accept. I am not against war. I don't like war. But if I am against war, what I'm doing, I'm making war to war. I'm staying in war. So if I accept war, because it is there, it's part of the inventory of the planet at this moment, knowing that the only constant is change, nothing stays. This too will pass, sometimes they say.
What you're saying, it reminds me of this image I have. It's like, we were sort of talking about animals and animal intelligence before. And it's like a dog, you know. a dog just smells around and smells everything, and they're just curious. They're just interesting. Oh, this is a new smell. They can smell a pile of shit, and they're just, what is this pile of shit? You know, we smell that, and we're like, oh, that's disgusting.
Exactly.
You know, they're just curious. They're like, what is this?
Yeah,
you
and
know?
we are conditioned because for another, maybe some African tribe says, oh, this smells good, and for us it smells like shit. You see what I mean?
Yeah, but it's like we're cutting ourselves off from that observational state because we're immediately labeling it, and that labeling has efficiencies, right? Because maybe by immediately thinking this is bad, then we save ourselves from maybe a disease. So the conditioning has utility, and that's why it stays with us, is because there is a utility to it.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure it has utility. Because now you are justifying illnesses also that way. I say sometimes, why do you need an insurance against assurance maladie? It means you're going to be sick.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you don't need an insurance.
Yeah.
You see, so you create a situation where you anticipate. You know the 4 agreements of the Toltecs, the 4 Toltec agreements?
No.
You look in your phone and type it.
Yeah.
It's very short.
Can you type it in, Ryan? The four Toltec agreements.
The 4 agreements.
The 4 agreements. Oh wait,
type just in Google.
I've seen this is a book, isn't it?
Yeah, Miguel Ruiz. The Toltecs were in Mexico.
Okay.
And there was a kind of a class of people who were the Toltec. A Toltec is a man or a woman of knowledge. They know the real reality behind the appearance.
Yeah.
And they have 4 agreements, and if you apply that in your life, my God, it's you don't have to need big teachings. It's fantastic. You have them?
Yeah.
Tell me.
Be impeccable with your word. Don't take anything personally. Don't make assumptions, and always do your best.
Yeah, no, I've heard this.
But it's fantastic.
Beautiful. Yeah, it's beautiful.
If you apply that, and it's so simple, and that's why I say if someone comes with a theory, and you cannot explain it to a child of 7, it's bullshit. It's a belief system, BS. And so belief system and bullshit.
I like that.
Yeah, it's good. BS is a belief system.
Yeah.
And BS in English, they know what it means.
Yeah.
So, because some theories are so complex, I listened 20 minutes and I cannot, okay, it's too much. But because nature and life is there for children especially. This is a kindergarten.
Yeah.
And we came here to play, and that's something I know when I love playing. And I've been playing all my life. And if you stop playing, you're done. You're done. You're serious. You take yourself serious. And you're lost.
Yeah.
You're lost if you stop playing.
Well, it's like in teaching, what you just said reminds me, because I've done ski instructing, and the way that I think about it, well, number one, it's about addressing comfort, right? Making sure that someone is comfortable, right? If someone is afraid, right? Oh, I'm gonna fall, I'm gonna hurt myself. Oh, something like that. They're tense. You can't enjoy yourself, right? So first it's about being comfortable, and then it's about inviting fun, right? And play, as you said. And then from there, when we're having fun, then we learn. And it's actually the third thing.
Yeah.
The teaching is the third thing. Comfort, fun, and then learning.
Yeah. But this is an analysis, eh?
Yeah, I was just telling you.
But we do that, eh?
Yeah.
But you can then the next you skip that, and because your intuition goes so fast that analyzing is a waste of time, because it's based on I want to know.
But maybe it's just a way of communicating, because I feel like a very analytical person, and that's something that I've and that's something where I've tried to get more into my intuition.
Okay.
But also I asked the question, why am I analytical? And I think part of it is because it allows us to share. Right? Because we have to sort of put things in a box
and there is something
to ship
more,
them.
Cooper. I think you function. We have something in common in a certain way, because I need to understand it before I can let it go. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
If I understand it, but it's funny because once I see that word, understand, you stand under it.
Yeah.
So you're not going up to it. Because there's a lot now. Noam Chomsky did a lot on the words we use often have so much meaning in depth that we use them, but we don't know exactly what they stand for. Like in French, comprendre. I say, il y a con, et y apprendre. C'est pas bon. Yeah. But there is a lot of words that start with con in French.
That's true.
Yeah, so I like it, joking with them.
Con.
No, but I mean, what is, okay, when you are a child, our parents tell us generally, or our teachers, hey, if you want to be someone, you need money or diplomas, or both. The more you have, if you have a business card with Professor Emeritus, this university and Stanford or college and all the thing, and you have a lot of money, then people will easily listen to you. But what they don't say that is when you come, you are already someone.
Yeah.
And all you do is changing the someone you are into something that society.
Or carrying more baggage.
Yeah, so
right.
You have, when you come out of a university, for me the first thing you have to do is unlearn.
Yeah, I love this word. I love this word. And I think to learn something, and you have to take it in and then understand it as you were like pointing to, and then forget about it.
Yeah, but it's not so easy. Eh?
No, it's not so easy. But when you truly bring something to resonate with you, that's when you've taken in the information, and then you've forgotten the information, and it's just within understanding. And that's where I totally agree with you, where school is bullshit, because it's about memorizing and it's not about understanding, where we hold it in our being, where we can comprehend how it works without the information, right? And we use the information because that's just an example, just like this life is just an example, just like every scenario is just an example, but it symbolizes something else. If we can understand that, then we can broaden that.
Yeah, but it's beautiful the way it works. Now the most difficulty, I think, and for me in any way, is stay in that attention. Be aware all the time. If I apply, one day I said to my best friend, if I would apply all what I say, it would be wonderful. And he said, I'm so happy you say it, because I've seen that, but I like that you say it. And that's a real friend, you say. He never said to me, if you apply what you say, he waited till I said it. Yeah. That's rare.
Yeah, let you figure it out for yourself. Do you think that talking about things can be a waste of energy?
No. Well, it can be, but yeah. But you see, it's again like with a plan. Before you do something, now there is one thing I say, if you say too many times, I'm gonna do this, you don't do it.
Yeah.
That's the truth. So I said maybe 200 times I'm gonna stop smoking, never worked.
Yeah.
But then one day I stopped, the day I didn't say it. I quit really because it was an impulse immediately that it was really enough.
Yeah.
Like we go to, when we are ready, we go to another level all the time.
Yeah.
And there is no higher level or lower level, because everybody has his rhythm and also the order in which you treat. And some things you will not have to treat them, and I will have to treat them, and vice versa. Because some things are not a problem for me, but can be for you, and vice versa.
Yeah.
You see what I mean?
And that's the beauty, the texture of everyone.
Of course, because not everybody has to go through this alcoholic, what I went through. Now, there must be some people, because they can understand and have compassion with. When I see somebody who's completely destroyed by alcohol, I just have to do like this and remember why, and I can understand him and I can love him. Say, oh my God, this is a hell. And then even if he doesn't ask me, I will not give advice. But if he asks it, then I can share what I have learned.
Yeah.
And that I had to learn also to not give that advice, not go stand on, like in London is a place where people stand on.
Yeah, not to preach, to not be overbearing.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think that's an interesting thing, because maybe certain, like I certainly feel it at times, this excitement to share.
That's good, that's enthusiasm.
Yeah, and that's life, right?
Yeah,
that's
but you have
fire.
to do it, but then you will see the middle way. You see, when you drive, in the middle, too much alcohol is not good. You can have a glass of wine, A bottle is too much. You see what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And there's also, if you can dose, if you can take just, I would say, stop before you, not looking for more pleasure,
Yeah.
always more. Like more is less, or less is more.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, you can, I like, for instance, but I don't do it all the time, eating with a little bit more, I want a little more, but I don't take it. That's better.
Restricting yourself.
Yeah.
In a sense.
Yeah, but not in the way of, it's not masochistic, yeah, yeah. Like I'm actually in a process, I must fast.
Yes, you're fasting right now. What is this? What does it look like?
This is just to do with my sun gazing.
Okay.
I am a lot sun gazing, and I feel that food, my body asks, please don't put food in me. Don't put food because I don't want to digest. This energy that my digestion system needs is about 65% of our total energy, I don't know. And so, did you notice that when you have a good meal, you can be heavy.
Yeah.
And you have less energy for, and so I have the feeling, but I don't know because this is an unknown domain, sun gazing. There is not, and I don't believe the others. I have read some. There is an Indian. They make it. They use it as a wow. I am sun gazing. I mean, you see, you can. It can be a trap also.
Yeah.
No. I did it in a very natural way. I was invited to do it, and I do it, and I don't talk much about it, but with many people. So now I get energy from there. That's sure. I feel that, and I started also like with the table, communicating with the sun. Yeah. And I feel it for me this morning. I felt really it's my father. It's my father. If the earth is my mother, which is true, then the sun is my father.
What does that communication look like? Would you call that prayer? Is it feeling? No. Is it? Are you putting it into language?
Yeah, it is. Normally, it cannot be verbalized because it's an experience. And but some people told me that I can very well sometimes verbalize things that are not so easy to verbalize. As people told me,
Yeah.
So I said, you said exactly what I wanted to hear. I wouldn't have put it like that, but it's the same thing as what I felt.
Yeah.
Okay, did that mean? So that's probably one of my, we all have a toolkit,
Yeah.
And in your toolkit, I have that.
Yeah.
You have other things and the same thing also, because you are also very precise choosing your words, I listen. So what I do as a scientific, then I say, okay, probably, I know now that we can live on light. Once I met a guy who came and he had not eaten for more than a year. And when we ate, he took sometimes a piece of salad, but out of social. But he didn't need the food anymore.
Okay.
And he was not sun gazing, but he lived from light in a certain way. So, and I feel that, but the sun let me realize, let me feel that I receive not only energy, but also information. And that information crystallizes when it's necessary. And it's also something that interests me a lot. I have always been obsessed by stars when I was young. Often when I was supposed to study in the evening, in the wintertime, we had very big, when you opened the windows, there was how you call this, the border outside of a window, very large in the house of my parents. And I sat there and looked at the stars. And I had to spend hours in my study room. Then they thought I was just dreaming or playing or reading science fiction books.
Sitting on the windowsill.
So, yeah, the windowsill?
Windowsill.
Okay, well, and I looked at the stars. And then I remember the stars. But now I see, of course, we are children of the stars. You see, when in the beginning creation started, that can carry, describes it also in his books. When I would say the Creator lets go of all his love in a universe, an empty universe, stars are born. The body of a star, what is that? Pure light. Electricity, light, magnetism. That's a star. And plasma. Plasma is that, plasma. You know, if you dive into the electric universe, you're going to be surprised. And they're all connected with Birkeland currents. Long, thousands of light years of like threads. Birkeland is the name of a scientific.
Okay.
But I'm not going to explain all that, but you can dive into it.
Yeah.
And you see, this is all a living universe.
Yeah.
And if the Creator wants to come into His creation, He is already in the body of stars, but He wanted to go deeper. You see? And that's why these biocircuits that we are developed. He created a creation where He let the creation take part in the the created figures take part in the creation.
Yeah.
Because He is them. So He wants to embody Himself with matter, but He cannot use stars as matter only. So they had to find something, and that's how the Earth is, that's what I feel, the only planet that has this kind of biocircuits so dense. There are other aliens, but they have no bodies like you and me. I'm not sure of this, but that's what I feel. They have light bodies, other bodies, and we are evolving probably also, but being like so dense in matter. Now, when the creation at the moment of quantum awakening comes into His creation and connects everything that is not filled with knowledge, with belief systems. Any knowledge is a belief system. Then the power, the energy that comes inside is pure, is actually love, but mixed with, because for me the sun stands for love and the earth stands for truth.
Okay.
And if truth and love play, that's what you're going to get.
Okay.
That's what's happening here.
Can we dive more into this love definition, because I think it's a fascinating thing to define.
Actually, love is for me. I analyze a lot there. Like, yeah, you like that too. So love. I said, what exactly is love? And the answer came not from Maurice, from life through me, and it said, love is acceptance, total acceptance of what is, no opposition, no combat, no war, no refusing. And that's why I am now busy in there is no last, but in a very important phase of my life is accepting my shadows, loving them. Loving them, not just accepting them.
But yeah, so that's the thing. So if we define love as acceptance, it's missing the active part of love, because love is also, yes, it's acceptance, but isn't it projecting something? Like you said, the sun is love. When I say projecting, I mean beaming that light. Right?
Okay. Okay. Good, very good one. When you love, really, you start shining. That's what the sun does, and that's what Jesus did, and what some people do. Sometimes you shine. Sometimes I shine, and that's when we attract others. They come in our field, energy field, and they want to be with us, and they want to stay with you.
Yeah.
Because you make them feel good. You make them feel comfortable. They feel that they can be themselves with you, that you have no expectations of them because of their acceptance. They say, oh, with this man or this woman, I can be completely natural. Yeah. And that feels like that's what children are, natural, not normal. Normal is putting on the natural laws, all universal laws are natural, are part of nature.
Normal is an idea that we create.
Things we put on top of natural, and you have to behave to be normal, but I don't want to be normal. When I live on the Larzac, a long time, I have a reputation of being a little bit, in French they say perché. Perché, you know, it comes from, perché is, if you put a bird on a branch, he is perché.
Oh, perched.
Perched, yeah. He's on the branch. And so, perched means in French, you're a little bit off.
Okay.
Yeah. You're a little bit, they won't say you're crazy, but...
Maybe cocky? Or like sure of yourself?
Who?
Cocky? Do you know this word?
Cocky? No.
It's like when you're overly confident, you're too sure of yourself.
Yeah.
Something like this?
Not that. It means more, perché means that you are, you're a little bit off the grid, you're not you're a little bit crazy.
Okay.
A little bit not
Okay.
stupid, crazy, yeah.
Yeah. In your beliefs or your way of
Yeah,
thinking. Yeah.
because you're not applying the norms.
Yeah. So you said you lived on at Larzac.
Larzac.
Because I've someone else has mentioned this to me. This community Larzac, because they, as from what I understand,
Well,
they make the they
goat
make the
cheese.
cheese for Roquefort.
There
Right.
was a big movement in the 70s. In Mitterrand, the president at the time, he
Yeah.
wanted to make a military, very big military camp there. All the Larzac is 1,000 square kilometers, and they want for the military to make a big camp to do exercises.
Yeah.
And because it's a place, it's a calcium plateau, and there are no rivers. All the water goes
Yeah.
underground. There's a lot of speleo, grots.
Okay.
So, and there was a movement, hippie movement they call it, in the 70s, against that military. And that's Lanzo del Vasto was a Portuguese nobleman who came there, and they were the non-violent and all these things came up at the time, the Beatles, and they Mitterrand changed, and they made a small camp, not the whole Larzac. They said people who live there have socks in goat wool, and they eat only cheese from the goats.
Because they raise goats and
because
that's their livelihood.
you know Roquefort.
Yeah.
Well, Roquefort is very close.
Yeah.
Oh.
No, it's okay.
And,
you're fine. Sit how
I
you feel
forget
comfortable.
always. And,
Let me give you some slack.
And so what happens is there were mainly, because the nature doesn't give, there is not so much grass, but there were goats and mostly sheep. And it's with sheep milk that they make the Roquefort.
Yeah.
And so there were not many people living there because it's a real survival mode. Eh? When I came there in '89, the older people, oh my God, they had no water, running water, tap water. So all the houses had a citerne, and they take the rain, and then they drink that. And
I see.
You see, it was really, really tough. I lived in a village first where 25 people were living on a yearly basis there. And then when I bought my house, I didn't want neighbors, because even in that village I had a neighbor who was a little bit difficult, and said if I buy a house I want to be alone. And I have 2.5 hectares, quite some, and I have a neighbor 3 kilometers, 1 kilometer, and opposite 1 kilometer. Because I needed to be, you see, but that's again, I said I, but actually that's life, that you have a destiny, and following your destiny is only possible if you feel it. When I saw that house, we were looking for a house that was alone. Eh? So I knew already that I needed a house that was not in a village. But I wanted, and then I said accent on wanting, an old house, old stones, 3 centuries, 4 centuries, because I like that. And so all our friends were looking for. I had inherited the money, and I was in India, and my wife called me and said, "Yeah, Marie-Alice, a friend, has found a nice house." And I said, "Where is it?" Okay, the place was good. I said, "How old is it?" "No, it's built in the 70s." I said, "I don't want it." And I come back from India and said, "Let's go and visit that house." "No, I don't want that." In 3 weeks she tried to get me there, and I was stubborn. I'm quite stubborn, and finally I said, "Okay, let's go," because she will go on asking. So we go on Wednesday. We come there. The house was not completely finished. It was had been built, part of it, part was still les fondations, foundation, and the spot was fantastic, but the house was nothing special. It was not finished, and so I come there and I say. I looked, it was closed, we had no rendezvous, so we couldn't go inside, so we didn't. And I say, "We buy it." She said, "But you're crazy. You didn't want to come? Finally you come? And now you say we buy, we haven't seen it." I said, "I feel it. I felt home, Cooper. For the first time in my life, I felt home there. But now after I found out, you know something about telluric energies?"
Say that again.
Telluric energy.
I don't know.
Telluric. There are spots on the earth where American Indians again. You know Mount Shasta?
No.
You can Google that. In California, there is one here in France, Mount Bucara.
Okay.
Bucara is called. In 2012, when the famous 2012 came, they were not old then.
I was 9.
All these New Agers went to Mount Bucara because there would be something special. But there are places where the energy of the earth, and these are places where in a body you would puncture acupuncture. It's a place where the
energy channel.
You can feel.
Something.
Yeah, you can feel the. Ah, j'ai un colis pour toi. Ils ont donné un colis pour vous. Attendez, vous allez là-bas? Ah, pardon. I'm sorry, I thought you. Okay. Je sais en anglais. Non, je pense. Il ressemble à. He looks like the owner. No. So, and these are the American Indians. They went when they were 18, 19 for a vision quest. You know about that?
No.
A vision quest is when an Indian was. They live differently. Yeah? He had to go on a mountain and ask spirit, Wakantanka I call it, his name and his position, what he had to do. And then he fasted 2 or 3 days, he drank just water, and he got a channeling from spirit to inform him what was his role in the tribe. Well, and they went on what they call sacred mountains. But I did not know about this. I was like you, I didn't know about it. Okay, these are stories. But actually now I found out that it is real. And I live on a spot that is, if you ever come, you will feel it. It's very, very, very powerful. I mean, Earth is very powerful there. And Earth is very connected to other places outside of Earth.
I see.
Now it took me quite some time before I could accept that, because my reason did not want to.
Yeah.
It's too far out, let's say. But now where I'm now, nothing is too far out.
I see.
Things are not far out enough. See, you can never go too far. You can go not far enough.
I see. Okay.
And I lost sometimes friends because I said, you go too far. I said, okay, bye. I go on. And they didn't want to follow, because if you go out of your comfort zone into the unknown, in the unknown, everything is possible, but not for everybody.
So that induced fear for those friends?
Not necessarily uncomprehension, but it's not important.
Okay.
If they don't, so they go in. I see afterwards they stayed where they were.
Yeah.
But you go on. In a relation too, if you have a relation and you go on, and the other does not follow, or goes on and you don't follow, you have to separate.
Yeah.
Because you cannot. There is no more resonance.
Yeah.
You see what I mean? If you have two completely different belief systems, it doesn't work. Also.
Do you believe in burning bridges?
Like
disconnecting from people. Like we're talking about disconnecting from people.
It's not something you do. It's life does it. If you go with life, it will bring you where you have to be, but it can be in a place where somebody else does not want to go. So otherwise, you deny yourself. You say, okay, I make a compromise, or you stay yourself and you go on.
Yeah.
It's not even a choice.
Yeah, but I think there's a lot of people, whether it's be stuck in relationships or situations where they feel
you
like
have to burn bridges. Yes.
They're stuck and they need to end whatever is there, but they're maybe afraid to. But it's like this. If your cup is full of water, you can't fill it with milk.
Indeed.
You have to dump the water out.
It's also because sometimes in a relation you exchange, like we do now.
Yeah.
And when everything is exchanged, if there is nothing more to exchange, okay, there can be another state of being where there is mutual acceptance, total respect, and then it lasts. There is no reason to end it. But if one of us wants to impose his belief system on the other, wants to limit the other, then I think you have to cut. If you feel that somebody is codependent also, that is a lot of relations are built on codependency instead of interdependency.
Yeah.
Interdependent can last forever, but codependent, no.
Can you spell that out? What does interdependent mean?
Interdependent means that you see that we are all connected in the main socket.
Yeah.
Socket is life, and that the other has eventually a different mission,
Okay.
and that there is no better mission, no lesser mission. Best is again comparison with the Philharmonic Orchestra. You have the first violin, they call it the first violin. It's just opposite. The director is the first violin, and then you have other violins and other instruments, and all at the top is a guy with a little triangle and a ding, and he's considered, you see what I mean? But at the right moment he has to do ting for the symphony, and that's how you can see it. So any instrument has the same value, it has to give his sound at the right moment and the right sound. Even in sting, there must be different. If you plunge in attack with the guy who does that, I know if I hit here or here or here, or the way I keep it, you see, it's all an art. Every instrument is an art form on its own, and if you let them, and interdependency is, you know that, and you let it play out the way it's playing out without interfering and without thinking that your way is the highway or your way is better.
Well, that's the thing. It's so easy to get, I think there's people that are like, oh, I'm awakened, I understand things. No, I'm not saying that you're saying that. I'm saying that's something
that's dangerous.
It's super dangerous, and it's easy to fall into, right? And that's ego. And like, it's just it's life is so interesting to navigate because it's like, it feels like walking on a tightrope in some instances, right?
Yeah, like surfing on a wave, huh?
Yeah, surfing on a wave. Yeah, this is maybe a more beautiful image.
Yeah,
but
I feel like surfing is very subtle, on a wave, and it is that. It is exactly that. But you can only feel the wave. You cannot think the wave. You can feel, and there is a moment when you, like with my table, when I feel this love, that means that there is a fusion. There is no more the table and me. They are not separated. That's when real connection comes. Madame, vous pouvez visiter pour le plaisir si vous voulez. Il y a un grand sous-sol, magnifique. Ah, vous êtes déjà venu. Ok. Si vous avez envie, faites un petit tour. Hein?
But I like this idea of connection, and I think maybe that's where I find my definition of love wandering toward or circling around.
Yeah, but we're on the way.
Is this idea of unity, right?
Yeah.
Because love is. Yeah, it's such a funny thing to. I like the definition you give. This admiration and this shining. Like maybe if I can improvise, like shining this admiration or appreciation. Maybe gratitude is mixed in there too.
The thing is, we don't have to do anything else than being ourselves. That is really that you can believe. I sometimes say, don't believe me, but that you can believe. Not believe, check it. But the more you are Cooper. You can never be too much Cooper, because they needed Cooper like they needed in a Swiss watch. Swiss watch, the old ones. There are sapphires, there are these big wheels turning, but you take out any piece and it doesn't give the time anymore. So every piece is necessary, and I admire, one of my sayings is, and that is true, introspection, that I saw that. I got this from life. It's not Maurice as a separate part that invented it. I said, life is perfect. I say that. It has always been perfect, and it will always be perfect, because it's always now, and it's only in the now that you see that perfection, because it's eternally changing. In Buddhism, they say you can never see the same river twice.
Yeah.
Well, it's in that idea. So this ever-changing beauty, what is a movie? Changing images, and there is the beauty. And I'm 76, and I look people walking by, and when I am in the present, I can see really, literally, how beautiful everybody is. Not all the time. If I'm not present, I don't see that beauty. But sometimes, when I was younger, I had standards of beauty for women, for men also, but mostly for women, since I'm a man, I'm heterosexual. And now, I see, but all women are beautiful. I can see that now in a young girl, 6 years old, but in an old woman, 96 years old also. And then I said, oh yeah, beauty is indeed in the eye of the beholder. It's not something it's the way you look at it.
Yeah.
And it's always, and that's beautiful. If you see beauty, it's a reflection.
Mm.
So, because the way we talked a few, I don't know, in the beginning you said something about the others, but that's also something amazing. There are actually in the app, there are no others. There are no others, because the other, I told you the story about the car. When you change a car, that you see that car all of a sudden.
Yeah.
And by women it's with clothes often. They see they have a dress and they see that dress somebody else, but before they didn't see. As long as you don't have it, you don't notice.
Yeah.
So you can only recognize what is here.
Yeah.
And that's the effect of the world. Is just a mirror that sends back what you throw into it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not the theory, it's not the concept, it's something you can check it. You can sometimes have the experience of that.
Of course.
You already have it. We have it many times. If I see all the time jealous people, must be jealous, eh?
Yeah, yeah. But and that's what's so interesting, because whatever, like, I love, like, if I feel something negative, it's like, okay, number one, the initial feeling is that rush of whatever that uncomfortableness is. Is it anger? Is it maybe jealousy? Or maybe it's whatever it is. Maybe it's a physical thing. Maybe I.
Jealousy is a good example, you know.
But it's interesting to see, like, what, like, to follow it, you know, because all these feelings, they're an invitation into understanding everything. All this information, it's an invitation into understanding. But it's like you have to pull on the thread, right?
Yeah.
And that takes separation, right, from holding on and being rigid with who we are, right, and being with the observer state.
Defending
and saying,
an image of ourselves in a certain way, no?
Yeah.
Because we create, whether we are aware of it or not, an image.
Yeah.
I remember when I was younger, I didn't get out of my bathroom until I found my hair was exactly the way it should be.
Yeah.
And I was the judge.
Yeah.
It's funny. But then you don't know. And then sometimes my daughter, Dad, I love, when it's completely wild.
Mm-hmm.
And then, so she sees beauty that I don't see. But it's like with food, eh?
Mm.
I see some people say, I don't like any food.
Mm.
But if there are other people who like it, I'm missing something.
Mm.
See what I mean?
Yeah.
Because they like it.
Yeah.
And I don't like it.
I wonder, I guess where I was trying to lead with this is, like, I wonder, because I felt in the past, I don't feel this anymore, I think it's an illusion, that this idea, and it's interesting to see, how do we escape this illusion of I am my emotions, right? Or this anger I'm feeling, because and my theory is that if we are masking, if we are not comfortable in being who we are, these emotions build, like, in great pools, and eventually the dam breaks.
Yeah,
and then you're in this fit. For me, it was more anger, right? For everyone, it might be a different emotion, but for me, it was more like an anger, right? And that felt so good because it was so pure, and it's like, this is me. This is me.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I am this anger. But that's the illusion, right?
Of course, you are not that angry.
Of course.
No.
But it's interesting, because where is it coming from?
This emotion, somebody said that I like it, is energy in motion. And it is something like, actually, it's an interpretation maybe of a situation, and there is an irritation. Anger there is irritation.
Yeah.
Something that you don't accept.
Yeah, you have an expectation and you have reality, and they're playing in dissonance.
Yeah, exactly. So then we go again, because when Jesus said, it's easy to love your friends, but did you ever try to love your enemies? That's a tough one, eh?
Yeah.
Because really, but then you have to imagine if there's one person that really, really makes you go crazy, to love him.
Yeah.
And that's really you can do it as an exercise.
Yeah. It's like you were saying earlier, like with the court, right? Our friends we benefit from.
Yeah.
So we have a reason to like them.
Yeah.
But if we can, love. If we can love someone that we don't benefit from, that we have no reason to love if we love them for what that person is.
Well, the only way to do that for me, that's why I come with We Are Life. He's also life.
Yeah.
He's in the Sweet Watch, another part.
Yeah.
And you don't understand and you didn't know that they also have their meaning.
Yeah.
And there must be a Putin and there must be a Donald Trump.
Mm-hmm.
Because the role of, for instance, Donald Trump and others is to make so much shit that the system collapses.
Mm-hmm.
They are pushing it to the limits,
Mm-hmm.
and they make it collapse faster than it would go if you feel the classical left, right, Democrat, Republicans. They now somebody breaks all the rules,
Mm-hmm.
and chaos, and chaos is before order.
Mm-hmm.
Enfin, for me, I always look now. Okay, since I say life is perfect, let's look for that perfection. How does that fit in? And then you can find out. But only if you start from the principle that life is perfect and
Yeah.
that everything is connected, and that there is nothing by happenstance there
Yeah.
or just intruders. No, they play. I say in a movie. This morning I explained that to my granddaughter. She's 12 and 14, and. Yesterday we saw a movie. Say, what was the movie? It was a science fiction movie, and were there good and bad ones? Oh yes. And who do you like best? The good ones, she
Yeah.
said. Say, yeah, but if the bad ones were not there, the movie could not exist.
Yeah.
And it's the same with life.
Yeah.
Somebody has to play this other role, and anyway, it's funny because darkness can only exist compared with light.
Mm-hmm.
But the funny thing is, if you come in a completely dark room and you push the light button, the darkness is gone.
Yeah. I like this saying. There's no, you can't sweep the darkness out of the room. You just have to turn the light on.
No.
But like this irritation, it's interesting. I was just thinking of this metaphor.
Irritation is a good one.
It's like, it's almost like there's, like when if something irritates you, right? Like if something happens and it's like, oh, this is an irritation for me. But whether it's the action of another person, oh, I could have done better. Oh, it should have been this way. Whatever the mind says, right? That's like an itch, right? And then what we can do with our action is we can scratch it and scratch it and scratch, and all of a sudden we're bleeding. We took something that maybe was an itch that we just needed. Okay, this is an itch.
Yeah.
I guess I'm feeling this in this moment. And what we do instead is we're like, no, this is real. This is I need to. You get what I'm saying? We're trying to. Everyone's trying to understand what is. I think maybe some people are afraid. We were talking about people that are maybe trying to phase out of that. But we're convinced that a lot of us we convince ourselves that the information that I'm getting is truth, right? And so this irritation, this is an indication of something true, and then and that's where that can begin to fester and to boil and to turn into this thing that ends up burning you, isn't it?
But you touched on something interesting when you said anger. Anger is an emotion, okay? Now, when it comes, and you got it right. You said, I am not angry. If you identify with it, you're lost. Because it's like the guy comes home, a classic movie, guy comes home and his wife is in bed with another guy. He takes his gun, bow, bow. And then he has a smoking gun and the act that he did. But what happened is emotion, his jealousy in this case, took him, he identified, took the gun and made him shoot.
Yes, you become
and then
a
he
servant
wakes
to
and he says, fuck, I'm with two dead bodies now. What happened?
Yeah.
He doesn't understand anything.
Yeah.
This is a classic.
Yeah.
And now what Buddhists say, if you have anger, and I try, if you have anger, can you remember the last time you had anger? Don't tell me, but you can go. And you can see how at a certain moment you had if it comes again, let's say, if you have, next time anger comes up, you can do two things. Or you identify, and then you know what happens. It takes you wherever it wants to go.
Yeah.
And you are the tool.
Yeah.
You are used by anger.
Yeah.
But you are not anger, that you know already.
Yeah.
But you can do something else. And that is only if you're very aware, there is anger. Like, hey, it's raining.
Yeah.
Hey, there is anger. Okay, let me feel this.
Hmm.
And you feel it. You let it be. Let it really be. and you let it go.
So you don't try to push it away.
No,
don't
no,
try
no,
to be
so-
like, no, I'm a calm person.
Oh, no,
I'm calm.
no,
blah,
that's
blah, blah."
bullshit. That is
Yeah.
that is denying. No, you take,
Yeah.
you say, how does anger really feel? What is this telling me?
Yeah.
And then you get the answer.
Yeah.
I cannot fill it in. But then you go to the bottom of that anger. You like the best thing. We all like sunshine, but then all of a sudden the cloud and it starts raining. Then you say, okay, it's raining. This will go. The anger will go on one condition. For me, anger is your soul wants to say something. We are not listening. You're real, and puts you in a situation with strong emotions that are signals of the message it wants to give you.
Okay.
But you only the one who has at that moment that emotion can go to the, and that's why, because we are free, we have free will, and we are free. We are born free. That is out of question. There is an old discussion about free will, but for me, it's clear that you are free and you can make at any moment any choice. So if you choose to be aware of your anger, completely immerse in it, let it tell you what it wants to tell, but generally we don't go that far. We identify with it, and then something else happens, and it repeats.
How can we avoid acting in anger? How can we
Be aware of it.
By being aware of it? But if this process, let's say, like, I mean, life is complicated, right? Let's
Try
say this
to take
process.
a situation for you that is really real.
If I am with someone and that person, or I'm feeling. I remember I was volunteering at a maybe this is a bad example because it's not my anger. I guess
Take a real. Tomorrow I forget it.
yeah. No, I mean I think if you're a boss, right, and if you're working with people, and you're stressed, you're taking too much on in yourself,
Yes.
and then you feel that anger, and then that boss, as that boss, you start yelling at your employees, right? That is you taking on that anger. How can one in that position, maybe where they need to be professional, right, or they need to be acting in a certain way? You talk
about the boss or the employee?
I'm talking about like it.
Suppose, okay, take this example, it's a good one. The boss starts yelling because he has stress at his employees.
Yeah.
And are you the employee who gets the anger then?
No, I was saying the boss. Like I was saying the boss, but it could be either way, right?
Yeah.
I'm just saying like.
Yeah,
it's interesting.
It's you have to say you want to take the position of the boss.
Let's take the position of the boss, right? Boss. So before you're feeling this anger, right? Maybe you could fix a bunch of things. Maybe you're working too much, whatever. Forget about that for the moment. We're in the moment where you're stressed and too much is going on, and we know that we shouldn't identify with it, but it's a strong feeling, and when we're saying, okay, I want to get to the bottom of it, but at the same time, is it better in this moment to push it aside? Well, we know that's not good to push it down, but then at the same time, I don't want to act and project this onto someone and maybe induce them into a negative state, right? So how can we still? Yeah, because that's life, right? It's complicated.
Yeah, but let's take this situation. We stay with that example. The boss becomes angry generally, and it's a reason to yell, right? And what will he do? He will project it on one of his employees. But then, if you are the boss, and it's all about the present moment again. That man at that moment, he has already, if he starts yelling, he has already identified.
Yeah.
He is angry at that moment.
Yeah.
So it cannot work. He has to see and understand that he is not angry, that he is not, that they are separate, that it is an emotion.
Yeah.
And then at the moment, what I have now, it happens that I get, upset before I anger. And at that moment, blip, 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 it's an alarm system because I'm more conscious, and I see it coming before it is there. I feel it coming. And then I say, okay, what's going on? What's going on? And then you get the answer. What's going on? Always the same answer. You got lost either in your story that you built or in somebody else's story. You are not, because in French, no, in English is to worry, yeah, but in French is se faire des soucis. In Flemish also, zich zorgen maken. It's exactly translation of se faire des soucis. What does that mean? It means that there are no soucis. You have to faire them, you have to make them.
Yeah, I see.
And so if you stay in the moment, you will see that you can always deal what is there, because never you get in a situation that you cannot handle if you are present. And you do whatever is possible, and there's even no choices, there's only one option generally.
Do you think that, because I think there's so much power in sharing that with others, like because like what you're describing, when I hear it, it sounds very meditative, it sounds very personal. I'm not sure that's what you're trying to convey, that's just what I'm seeing. But when we're in this world with other people, I think it's so valuable as well to be able to express that. You know, I'm feeling this in this. I'm feeling this negative thing in this moment, and I'm trying to figure it out.
Okay.
Or something like that. You know, is that maybe is that tough because that's putting a label on it? Obviously, I said something very vague in that instance, but it's about connecting with the person, right?
Okay, Cooper. What you can do, what I would suggest, what I understand, I try to understand exactly what you mean, is the solution when that comes, when you feel uncomfortable. It starts with the feeling of uncomfortable, before the anger is there, right?
Yeah.
Express yourself and express your truth. Say what you feel in a calm way before you get upset, and share that with others. And then it is an action of love, of respect, and you disarm the whole situation. You unmine. It's like it's a minefield. You take away the mines, because if you say the truth, I have an example. You won't you want to believe it, because I'm going to tell you a little story that happened to me. It's incredible. I was reading from Indian, when I go to India, sometimes in the trains, long times, and I read sometimes at a time from some good gurus. And the guy said, if you want to be respected and somebody aggresses you, for instance, you must always say the truth, 100%, and that's very important, not judge the other, not put a label on them. And what happened to me, so I had this in mind, I had my other shop before, my son had this, and I go somewhere in more north. I had to drive about 2.5 hours. I was going to buy stones, get gems, half gems, not for my shop. And it was not a highway, it was a national. And we had, after 1.5 hour driving, 2 times already, they call it a wharf on the road where they're building, and you had a red light that stays sometimes 10 or 15 minutes. And when I'm in car, sometimes I can be a little bit in a hurry. And then, and I come down, we are on a hill, and I ride, and I see for the 3rd time about 50 cars standing still, a white line, you could not cross the line. And in the beginning was a truck, a big truck, and behind the truck was a small car who was a little bit out of the file, if he wanted to, but not doing it. And but what I did not see was that in front of the truck was a red light again. And I see all this and I say, oh my God, again. And I double. I said, I can sometimes be in traffic. Well, that's years ago. Fuck. And I take the whole, I say, I'm going to double them all, because there was nobody coming from the other side. And I double the truck. But there was a guy with me, somebody I know well, not a friend, but so. And he said, oh, you're in trouble. I said, what happened? Oh, we just crossed gendarmerie, tu connais? Een camionette from la gendarme.
Oh, okay.
The gendarme in French, you know, not the police, but gendarmerie.
It's like a civil police sort of thing.
It's like police, but they are in uniforms. They have these blue camionettes, like the police.
Okay.
Police is local. Gendarmerie is national. And so they were with a van. They come out of the, and they follow me. And he said, and I had not my
seatbelt.
My seatbelt. So I don't know how many infractions, but and I double the truck, and then I see the red light, so I have to go through the red light, and I go backwards a little bit, so I am half past the red light, and then come this van of the two police guys, and he stops in front, he blocks me, he comes out, and he's really, wow, he was red. And he comes to my window, I open the window, and in my mind I said, yeah, it's done. Now I'm done. I had so many things went wrong. So he starts to, and I was not afraid, but I was also not, I didn't think he was stupid or something like that. Sometimes they say, yeah, the police are stupid. No, I had no judgment on him. So he enumerates all the infractions and he said, well, to me, to have an explanation, and I said, you understand, I must say it in French, like I said, Monsieur, j'ai fait une très grande connerie. You understand that? Mm. And he looks at me. Is that all you have to say? I said, what do you want me to say more? It's the truth, I say. This was a connerie. Tu connais ce mot, connerie? No,
un connard, connerie.
Connerie is a stupid thing. I did the most stupid thing I could do.
But it comes from connard.
Yeah, connard comes from connerie. Yes, yeah. So, and he was a little bit. He said, "What shall I do now? Where are you coming?" I said, "I'm going to buy stones. Where are you coming from? From there." Okay, I cannot give you verbalization now. I cannot give you a fine ticket because I am not in uniform. He was in a blue. Okay. But I could see on his truck that. So this afternoon, when you come back, you come to the local caserne, where all their headquarters, and we will do it then. So okay, I go do my shopping, I come back, and I walk in. I said to the guy in the car, "Stay here." I go alone. I come inside, and I have a lady gendarme who is on the accueil, on the desk and reception. Yeah. And I say, this morning before I finish we heard about it. So you go to the first floor with the lieutenant colonel, he will receive you. So, oh my God. So I went up, and then they were two in the car, but I only saw one. They were there standing, a desk, clean desk, telephone, one pen and one, this desk completely clean, very official. And the guy in uniform, and two guys in uniform, because I did the army, so I know uniforms, and these were two majors. Major is a rank, officer. And the big chief, the lieutenant colonel, he said, "Mr. D. Koster, my family name, can you tell me what happened this morning?" So I tell him exactly like I told you what happened, the truth, only the truth. And he looked to the two other guys like this without saying anything, and they nodded to say, I understand, yeah, it's exactly what he tells is exactly what happened. Then he looked at me and he said, "But I speak quite good French, it's not my mother tongue, but there are some expressions, and one expression I don't know." He said, "On va vous faire une fleur."
Faire une fleur.
Faire une fleur. Literally it means we're gonna
make a flower.
Make you a flower. But it means more, we're going to give you like a flower.
Okay.
And I said, "Sorry, sir, I am Dutch born. Dutch is my language. I live since quite some time in France, but I don't understand what it means." I said, "Okay. Well, we are not going to give you a ticket. You are no punishment, because my men said that you were very respectful, and you have not tried to invent any story to excuse yourself, to justify yourself for all the stupid things you did. You said that you did a stupid thing," and they never had that. Generally, people they feel they are upset and angry, and
they fight it.
Yeah, and then of course and then he laughed. Well, he was very serious, and then he said, "But don't do this again." And then I greeted them like a military, because I know that officer. I said, "Well, you are a real gentleman." "Well, sir, you treated them like a gentleman, so we treat you like a gentleman." See, this is a story. I said, "This is not possible. We have not this image of the police." See what I mean? And so the lesson is that if you really, first thing you tell the truth, and you do not think that the person is not able to get it, then these things can happen. I was just protected because normally they could even take my car and
Yeah.
I could have been, if I would have handled in a different way. So this is very important how you treat a situation. And you can always, Jesus said, the truth will set you free, and that is true. Huh? Never, never, never lie. Never lie. Even if it's very bad for your own image, you say the truth, because if I lie to you, it means I take you for an idiot.
Yeah. How far can we go with this? Because
never too far.
Because I think there's this issue that many people worry about offense, isn't it? And so offending someone.
Yes, but you offend someone when you don't tell the truth. Even if the truth is painful, you have to test it. You have to test it. When you have a situation when you can apply it, try it. Think of this moment, and then phone me after and tell me what happened.
Well, I have been experimenting with this. This is something I'm actively experimenting with.
Okay.
That's why I'm curious on your interpretation, because I find that it reaps many rewards, but then I wonder as well, like, I can understand the other argument. I also understand the other argument.
Okay.
I'm just trying to paint a full picture. I think it is best, to be honest, and I think it is best to not have a filter, because in any way, if it turns someone off, that's us being in our full energy. You said we're magnets, right? And if some of us are repulsed, and then others were attracted. And that's how magnets work. And I think that's a good thing. That's a natural filtering system.
But it's the second time that you bring into the equation other people. In the style van, there are other people said that there are no other people, I told you. And if you, like the
let me rephrase.
Agreements, no, but the agreements, you make a supposition.
Yeah. Let me rephrase. There's other mentalities, there's other ways of thinking.
Of course.
And we can inhabit them, or
what means inhabit them?
Live. We can be within.
You can understand the others.
No, I'm saying that and we were, like, when we were talking about love earlier, this brings me back to it. Separating someone from their actions. I don't believe we should judge people, but I think we can judge actions. And we can learn something by not judging people, but then we can say, and okay, I think you're right. There's too much to talk about other people because there's too much unknown. All I know is myself. This is true, but that is why I
No, but you take them into consideration, and that is for me where it goes wrong.
Is it?
For me, I don't say that it is
okay.
So, but I will never. When you think it's important what the other's belief system is, don't forget that this belief system is just bullshit, is a story. And you don't have to pay attention to stories. You have to live your life. And if you are straight, you will see that magic starts when you do what I say now, when you apply, when you only take care of yourself. We're going to make it very simple. Take care of Cooper, that's all. And if you take care of Cooper, since Cooper is life, you are taking care of life. And immediately, okay, some people will run away because too much light, if they are very in fear, they don't want to stay with you. They might even hate you. They might become aggressive, but you are protected then. If you stay in your calmness, they will not. They will not. Not now. Before it was more dangerous, because now these systems are already, for the most part, you don't have to give your life anymore, like Jesus did.
Yeah.
That's finished. Because we are now, this Christ consciousness is so present today that immediately it comes back to you and it protects you. It's invisible, eh? But that's, I cannot prove, and I don't want to prove anything. You can try, and you know when you're right. You know when you are walking your talk, when you're straight. If you try to cheat a little bit, you're done. Huh? See what I mean?
Yeah.
No cheating. That's about. Of course, the truth is so raw that it may hurt.
Yeah.
It may hurt, but then you will not be in a position where you have to tell the truth to somebody who is completely unable to. You will not be put by life in a position, and you will feel. Oh yeah, there are places where there are people to. I don't talk like this to everybody.
Yeah.
No, I'm not looking. No, because if I feel that it is impossible for the person to get only 5% of it, why?
Do we need, what does honesty mean? Does it mean 100% transmission?
Feeling.
Okay.
Honesty is based on feeling. Like the woman who feels the apartment is good or not good, it's always feeling. How did we meet? How did we connect? I felt you, you felt me.
Yeah.
And the flow.
Yeah.
But we could not calculate this.
Yeah. But does honesty mean opening every door to the house? And letting every...
That's up to you.
Or is just one door open enough? Is that full honesty?
No, what you can do is, the beginning you open the door. Like here, when people come in, my door is open. See it? And when people feel really an open door, they open often also a door.
Yes.
And then it starts.
It's an invitation.
It's an invitation. But you have to give the... But why I do that? I do that not for you or for the people, I do that for me.
Yes.
And that's very important. If there is a reason I do it to get something, then it's the wrong action. If my action is calculated, if it is meant to get a result,
then it's manipulation.
Then it's false. It's not real. If I do it because I'm happy with it, I love this. I love communicating with you, with anybody who comes in. I love that. It's my passion. And people feel that. One day I had a woman who walked in, I'd never seen her, in her 40s. She shared with me within 20 minutes the most intimate things that you can imagine in a relation. And she said, all of a sudden, she said, anyway, I can tell you all this because I feel I can trust you. And I said, thank you for this gift that you...
Yeah, that is gold.
That is gold. But I'm not sitting here waiting for that. No, I'm here because I love this place. We created with my son this place.
Yeah.
I love this place. I love the energy. I love the people that come here. It's all based on love.
Yeah.
And it's an experiment.
Yeah.
It's actually what I'm telling. Okay, we're going to see if this works in a shop. This is a shop. But at the same time, it's not a shop, you see. It's a shop, but it's not a shop because this is not happening in shops.
Yeah. Yeah. It makes me wonder too. I think I am very curious on the question: how do we bring people together? And I think
by being yourself.
I think you outlined it quite well. Like creating a space, creating an energy source,
and also
to bring people to,
creating
isn't it?
Where you feel good.
Yeah.
You have to create a place where Cooper is like a fish in the water. Yeah, it's like a dress. If there is a little place where the dress is pulling, it's not good. It must fit. You don't have to feel it.
Yeah.
So if you are in an environment where you feel so good that there's nothing you want to change, you create the place of joy, of love for you, and then sensible people. How come I have such a quality of visitors? It's incredible, I have meetings like this. I had, my God, soon a girl is gone from Kazakhstan, China. She came in, we talked 10 minutes, and she said, I have to come back. Okay, and she came, she was studying French. She was a Chinese-speaking lawyer who learned law because her father was in prison because Kazakhs are Muslims and they are in China. No story. And she's now back to China. She's coming back, Aisha. And we are, well, it's like I know her, we are friends. But I've never, you see, all these things happen. Once you open a door, you will be amazed of how many people walk in. And then you connect and you see that is happening. It's incredible. But the best part is you know all this. You everything we said, you knew it already. You knew it. And you come, and I do that also, and we do that all. We sometimes a little bit confirmation is welcome.
Yeah.
Because it makes us stronger.
Yeah.
And that's how you see that. In Belgium we have a logo, and I mean every kingdoms have a like
Crest.
Yeah, how do you know
banner.
that? Is there American? Is there something like French is fraternité, égalité, and it's a banner. And in France, in Belgium is l'union fait la force. Union makes
Power.
And it's funny. It's it's funny. It's a nice one. And that's what happens when we get together and we confirm. If I confirm your feeling, and you cannot imagine what I receive from you. Aisha said, you give me so much. She said, no, I give nothing. We are exchanging, and this is on a horizontal level. Because if there's a giver and a receiver, we are like this.
Exactly.
And that's not healthy for me. So if there is an exchange, there is generally, I know now what gives exchange. Healthy exchange gives joy. I feel joy now. See, and I'm sure you feel joy too.
Yes.
So this is shared, and joy is the core of love. And the core of fear is ignorance. And if you keep that in mind, you will see that if somebody comes and you feel anger, it's often when somebody comes with ignorance in your field of love, and that is another vibration, fear. And you cannot discuss about that.
Yeah.
But fearful people, I have till now, nobody has walked in with the dominant vibe of fear. No, not one. In 1 year time, not one person came here that I said was fear-based.
And it's interesting, this dichotomy, because most people are afraid if they're their true selves, they'll be vulnerable. But really, by not being their true selves, they're vulnerable. What you're saying, in your experience, you're saying that by being your true self, by emitting this energy strongly, that is your protection.
Of course, that implies also, because you can go, that implies that you know that death does not exist. Because that's also, many people are afraid of dying. And more of their ego death and of their physical death. The old construct, if you made up a construct and it took you 30 years, it's like a professor in the university. A young student discovers that what he says is bullshit, there is a new discovery. How is he going to handle that? Give me another 2 years till I retire and come back, you see? Or make a thesis and I say that I found it. But they cannot accept, I teach 30 years bullshit. You must be very strong to be able to question yourself is one of the most intelligent acts you can do. And there's another rule, no reactions. The first action of a free man is stopping with reacting. It's an act. I do not react anymore. React, it has already been acted, so it has not to be. But your act is to not react, to listen and see what happens if you let the other go till the end. And then that's like, there is no possibility of struggle anymore if you don't react.
This is a really difficult one. I think so. I think for me.
Did you ever try it?
Yeah, but I guess.
Did you try it?
Like it's
in a situation,
I think like we were talking about emotions. I think it's the most poignant with emotions, like this thing of reacting to your emotions. I think this circles back to this thing before.
It's easily said.
Where we can, I think it's important. We were talking about surfing the wave. It's important to, at the same time, take in the information and to sit with it and to go deep into the emotion, to understand ourselves while not reacting to it.
That's too much. That's much,
it's but it's interesting, right? Like how can we be observers and also execute our will as it is from us, not as it is of someone else or from some feeling, right?
Execute our will, I would say.
Or execute the will. I don't.
Yeah, because life does not give what you want, it gives what you need.
Yes.
And once you're aware of that, that whatever comes on your path is a gift of life, and it can be an accident. Recently, a friend of somebody breaks his leg, and he has to rest 2 weeks, for instance.
Yeah.
And he didn't take that rest. That's life that interferes. Okay, now you must. Life first comes to wake you up with a kiss, and then it shakes your bed. And at the end, it turns your bed upside down. And then you say, you could not have. I tried, but you did not wake up.
I see.
You see what I mean? So you get illnesses or accidents when you this urgent need for change. And every accident and every illness, like cancer, for instance. Please don't believe me, but cancer. I know, not I believe. I know what the reason is for cancer. Why people get cancer. You want to know it?
Tell me.
I can share it, but check it, don't believe it. It's a lack of self-love. And since I say that your real self is life, if there is lack of self-love, you don't love life. Anyway, if you ask them you love life, I ask that sometimes, not often, because it's a dangerous question.
Yeah.
You love life? If they say no, run. I mean, or be careful, because, okay, it's no problem. They will just get the lessons they need to awaken.
Yeah.
And it's not a question, it's even not karma, it's the consequences of choices.
Yeah.
If I make all my life choices that are not in accordance with life, I end up suffering.
Yeah.
And last week I stepped outside of where I live is beautiful. And often I step out and I say, what did I do to merit this? Thank you, thank you. Gratitude is very important.
Yeah.
When you eat something, gratitude.
Yeah.
Say thank you, thank you. You cannot say too much. That's incredible. And then I said that morning, thank you for all the suffering. When you find your wife hanging in a tree and you have to get her out, and it just happened, and it was my queen. I put her. It was my eyeballs. And that's I wish this for nobody, but it's also the most beautiful present I ever got. Now, years after. It took me exactly, it happened on 4th of March 2007, and on 31st of January 2011, it was accepted. I remember because I woke up that morning and I felt something different. It's a process, Grieving is when you lose somebody very close to you. Le deuil en français. You know that? Grief is it grief? Mourning.
Okay. I don't know that word, but
no, but when you have to
mourning, grief. Yeah.
Grief, yeah. It's a process that takes, and it's the same with traumas you have yourself as a child. Or you have to. It's a process of accepting what is again. And knowing, of course, then through that encounter, I realized that death does not exist. Through death, through meeting death so close, in French they say, ça passe ou ça casse. Tu comprends, hein?
Yeah, it passes or it breaks.
Yeah. If it breaks, I could have done suicide too, or become a drug addict or whatever. No, it passed because I accepted it. And I accepted it even as a choice of hers. And then, but for everybody it's different. You only get what is the suffering that you might have had in your life or will or still can have is made sur mesure, we say, like a suit. It's made for you and not for somebody else. So you only can get the meaning of it.
Yeah.
You see what I mean?
Yeah, I think this.
And so we often think, oh, he has, but no. For him, it's not for you.
It's been over 3 hours. Just letting you know.
Okay. We can.
Okay.
Should we wrap it up? You think?
Yeah, because.
Yeah, we should wrap it up.
I go on talking till tomorrow.
No, I know. I can.
Continue this forever.
Yeah. You're right. I felt it already.
Efficient.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyways. Thank you so much, Maurice.
Thank you.
I think
Thank you.
maybe we'll have to do another episode because I think we could keep going. if
Well,
we want at some point.
I am always available, and anyway, I have to learn. I feel that when we do this, to be more concise, to be more, to not. I sometimes I elaborate too much, and that's not necessary.
Well, I hope I was. I don't know. I had a because for me, like when I do this,
It's also
it's an
first
it's an
time.
investigation for me. Like to like I have some questions, and I think we have some similar questions to dance around different and explore different questions. But I don't think it's a bad thing to
No, there is
ramble
no bad
around.
thing.
Yeah.
We don't have to judge. No, thank you. I'm really.
Yeah, it's wonderful. I think we did something really good, honestly. So thank you.
For me, again, you confirm, because you see, it's easy talking, and walking your talk is not so. Is another thing.
Yeah.
Sometimes we know things, and before we apply them, it takes some time.
Yeah.
But now it becomes. It's lovely. I love it.
Fantastic. All right. Until next time,
Thank
Maurice.
you.
Thank you.